Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one juicy on the name.
Let's try them. Let's still try.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. That was a psych out because just to see if everyone's paying attention. I'm a YouTuber. But thank you. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. Tonight we are talking about the first 3 episodes of the TV show Andor on Disney Plus. If you're new to the channel here, new to the video, what I do here is I'm an action figure toy collector, and I usually do a live stream every week unboxing toys, but every once in a while there's a cool TV show or movie that gives us awesome collectibles to talk about. So on that track, we get to talk about the content behind the toys. And if you're here tonight, I'm here with the Boba Squadron. And we've been doing this for a while, and we're going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about cool toys that are out. So hopefully you like what's going on here on the channel, and stick around. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a thumbs up, and all that helps the channel. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying this, and hopefully other people will enjoy it too, and YouTube will recommend it to them. That's my basic understanding of how it all works. Probably all wrong because I don't even know when my mic is muted, but thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, but we're gonna get started. I'm gonna bring on some friends of the Boba Squadron, which hopefully you are all excited to see these people again. First up is our good friend. I recently got to hang out with her again here in Toronto. She streams on Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday. Wait, what's happening? Normally she streams on Tuesday, but midnight 30 is something she does midnight 30 West Coast time to chat about some cool content and streams on Twitch. This is our friend Yoko.
What's happening?
I just finished work. I don't even know what's happening in my life.
Cheers, everybody. Happy.
Oh, Boba.
I'm welcoming us back. Boba Squadron. Oh, my cat just busted open the door. You guys know Larry.
Welcome back, Yoko.
It's exciting to be back, guys. I haven't had a boba in so long.
Did you not have any while we were on hiatus?
You know, I don't know that I have, honestly. Here's Larry. Okay.
Hi, Larry. Welcome back. It's been a while.
Yeah. He's immediately demanding attention, I guess.
Well, this is Tuesday, and new episodes of Andor drop Wednesday, which is later this evening.
Yes.
You're going to be going live and undermining this show later tonight.
Undermining the show. Well, hopefully we're done by midnight Pacific time. We've got 5 hours and 45 minutes to go, so we'll see how that goes. Then we can all watch episode 4 when it drops in 5 hours and 45 minutes, and then we can reconvene on my Twitch channel to talk about it. So
perfect.
I've got the next 6 to 7 hours all laid out for you guys. So just hang out with us. Get that
continuous content.
Yeah.
Awesome. And of course, make sure you're following Yoko on Instagram and Twitch if that's some more content you'd like to see. Let's keep it moving because I feel like I'm really on a roll here and I haven't made any mistakes at all.
No.
The next person we're bringing on is another friend of ours who I also got to hang out with recently. You may know him from another Star Wars show. Another show here, Kim's Convenience, here in Canada, and previous Boba Squadron episodes. This is our friend, your friend and mine, Mr. Paul Sun-hyung Lee.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
Paul.
up, everybody? What's the over and under on tonight's live stream? I've got about six hours. Yoko, you're already at peg at like 5.5.
Yeah, I keep telling you, we have a hard stop, 5:45. I mean, 5 hours and 45 minutes from now.
Right. Technical
Hard
errors
stop.
aside.
Yeah.
Who's the house? Who are we betting with? Who's the bookie?
Oh, I don't know. I think
What
Yoko
are the
putting
odds?
the hard stop on it kind of kiboshes any sort of over under. We all fear Yoko. We fear her, and we give her that respect that she deserves. I know.
Wow.
There was a lot of pressure meeting her. I was lucky enough to meet her when she was up in Toronto just recently, and the pressure was real to make sure that the handshake was something memorable at the very least.
Oh, I don't have the handshake video
Do you
queued up.
not have that prep, dude? It's okay. That'll be content for the next 7-hour live stream that we do.
I'm sure I can find it within the next
Episode
7
4
hours.
of Andor next week.
Yeah.
Join us on a special 7-hour breakdown of that. No, we're good.
Paul, man, it's good to see you. I'm sure everyone in the chat is happy to see you again. What's been going on? What's new with you?
Oh God, what's been going on? We're selling our house, so the geeky basement's packing it in. The good news is we're moving to a bigger place, and it's double the space, but it's going to be a lot of work. For those of you who watch my channel, you already know this a little bit. So yeah, we're well on our way to getting the Geeky Basement 2.0 started. So that has been all consuming since I've been back home, just packing in boxes, and I'm so sick of it. But the goal, that's keep that eye on the prize. Yeah, Yoko, right?
I'm still not unpacked.
There you go.
It's been 6 months.
You move cities though. You move from different cities though, right?
Yeah.
That's a long haul. Like you're packing everything up, carting it a long distance, and then, but you have more space to sort of expand your collection, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's
cool. Yes and no. Yeah. Yes, you would think so, but it seems like it doesn't really work out that way.
Well, speaking of packing it up, we have not sent this next person packing yet.
Great segue.
You like that, right? I was hoping no one said anything until I said that. But our friend who has started his new YouTube channel, please make sure you check it out after this. He talks about collecting and, of course, going to Disney. Also, he's on the Toy Migos They're Not Dolls podcast. Please welcome back the one and only, the fallingest, the fallen Fett, Ernie.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm so happy to be back. Like, this is awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't.
Right.
Like, I feel so nervous. I don't even know why. Like, I've had anxiety all day to I can't wait. We're all back together. Yes, let's do this.
Nice.
So this is awesome.
Allow me to take this opportunity to let you in on something, Ernie.
Yes.
We've been waiting for this precise moment to let you know that you've been cut. No.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make it on the trip down there to be with you all. And that was, oh my God, I was so jealous. But I did get to hang with Yoko.
I was just thinking, since the last Boba Squadron, I've been able to see all of you in IRL, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
In IRL.
Yes, in IRL.
And I'm already waiting for the next Yoko visit because we get to hang out at Disneyland and we have a great time and it's fun. Fred shows up. It is. But your guys's, oh my God, your guys's was a movie. Like, I even got the drunk calls and then seeing you. Your visit was nothing. Well, because Kev was making faces about Disneyland. Dude,
I saw.
Watching on this end, it was a movie. Like the way all you guys fell into everything, being at the Enabler house, all the trips and dinners. And then, Paul shows up. I'm like, literally just like, when you're laying in the bed, just with your phone. I'm like, this is dumb. And you try and switch. And then I go back and I'm like, oh, there's everybody.
I know. Yeah. I lay everywhere with my phone, so I totally feel you on that.
That's true. That's true.
Well, welcome back. The whole gang is back together. Are we? I don't know. Have we been excited for Andor?
Whoa! Slow down, Villeneuve. We just started this 8-hour like live stream. All right. We've got the 3 hours of preamble where we just talk about nothing.
Yes.
And then we slowly ease into Andor, right? And then Yoko has to start her live stream. So we have to leave.
When was our last stream?
Ooh,
Was
I don't
it
even
with
know.
Kenobi?
Yeah, Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi.
Let's talk about everything we've done since then.
My God. Buckle up, everyone.
Yeah.
I just got off work and I haven't even had to go to the washroom yet. So this is going to be an interesting stream. We're definitely going to have.
Go ahead and go now if you have to.
Well, Paul can give you some tips about not peeing on stream.
What have we been up to, Paul?
Stealth
Ernie?
peeing.
Stealth peeing.
Like right now. You don't know.
It's already happening.
Okay, to mask the sound of Paul stealth peeing. It's stealth, but it's not completely silent. I'm going to I want to take a moment to welcome everyone back who I hope missed the Boba Squadron, and they're here to see all of us tonight. Feel free to jump in and say what's up to whatever name pops up, but thank you for the channel members who are here tonight. We have Aaron S., who says, I'm really doing my damnedest to watch this on time. Currently waiting on ramen and boba in CGY. Oh, that sounds like a nice combination. Thank you for being here, Aaron. Welcome back. We have Toy Geekosaurus, D-Cirtle. What's going on, Daniel? Says, is there a Guinness official in the house? I think this one might go the distance. Make a call. Someone put the call in. Bearded Builds. What's going on, Peter? Peter, who we got to hang out with when Enablers and Paul were all downtown. RMD Collective, what's going on? Val A's here. Good to see you, Val. Charles Stevens, welcome back. Says, hello all. Glad I'm off from work tomorrow. This may go. Where did the message go? This may go straight through midnight 30. Yoko, you can leave the stream and come back, and we'll probably be on episode 2 by then. Fallen Fed is here. What's up, Ernie? Aiden Skate, David de la Huerta, Aaron S. I believe I already said hi to Princess Glam Rebel. How are you doing? It says, happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy birthday. Happy Tuesday to you. Ghost Dog is here. 1-6 Shooter. What's up, Trevor? Stream Elements. 796 Studios. How's it going, Mario? That Stream Elements is such a great fan. Toy Box of Doom.
It's my favorite.
Yoko is here watching on Twitch. Thank you for everyone who is tuning on Twitch as well. Thank you, Patty, resub you've been sub for 15 months. Amazing. Thank you for that support. Whoa. That means a lot. Thank you for that. And glad to have you here, part of the Butter Nation. We have Toy Rensu also. We got to hang out with Toy Rensu down at Stormcrow. My brain is just starting up. Krista Colvin is here. What's up? He's building 3D printing a battle droid right now, which looks incredible. He's an absolute magician. What's up, Christopher? NYC Figure Fanatic. Mackerson is here. Oh God, this thing just jumped. There's a lot of people. It's Tuesday, isn't it? There's a lot of streaming this week. We have Gross Fidelity in the house. Bad Wolf Media. Winger Lose. What's up, Winger Lose? Cap Lives is here. Thanks for tuning in, Cap. John Tate says, been a while since I caught a live show. Well, this is a great time to jump back in. Boba Squadron has returned. Or maybe that's all you're here for. I'm okay with that. Middle school creations. Any relation to high school creations? I've seen this name before, but welcome back. Met. What's going on, Met? Richie is here. What's up, Richie, who I had the pleasure of doing an unboxing Thursday with last week. We opened a bunch of Pokemon cards, so please go check out that episode if you haven't seen it yet. Cassian or Casa? Why not both? Nick's Figs in the house. What's going on? Eric Alfred Abel, 80s Babies here. Go check out Dario's new channel. Gabe Jones. Luis Renato Kriegel says, hello to the Butter Nation. Hello to you. Gross Fidelity, thank you for the super chat. Like butter. That was loud. Ernie was at Ottawa Comic-Con in spirit anyway. Welcome back. Paul, you got to meet Gross Fidelity. in Ottawa, right?
Yes, I did, and I got a chance. They gave me a really wicked cool Mandalorian T-shirt, which on the back had a Carson Teva quote, which was really, really cool. I served on Andor. Really enjoyed that shirt. It's a great shirt. Got a lot of really great compliments on it. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's nice to meet members of these chats of all of our channels in real life. I think that was really super cool. Like meeting High School Creations and 796, Mike and Mario for real, which was cool. Toy Rensu, didn't know it was you. Did not realize it was you when I met you till afterwards, right? And of course, Peter with Bearded Builds. It's nice to be able to put a face to the name. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, really looking forward to doing more of that. And next time, just a tip: anybody, if you're meeting any of us, let us know what your handle is as well, because we reckon it's one of those things. We know your handles better than we know your actual faces or your real names. So, like, yeah, help us out. And let us know so we don't feel like idiots afterwards, because I felt really dumb.
Yeah. Or we don't feel like jerks, like we don't know you when we've had conversations online.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just you can say, hey, I'm so and so. Own it.
Yeah.
Own that screen name.
There you go.
The homie Chamba is here. Our good friend and channel member and Paul's wife Anna is here. Says, I'm just here to troll Paul. Perfect.
Thank you.
That's still a view for me. Tom Fleury, Jason Lowe, how are you, Jason? Good to see you in the chat again. Let's see. Anna says hi. Fallen Fest says, man, I got to read this in the Ernie voice. Man, so happy to see all the squad here. We have missed you all. Is your caps lock busted?
No, I did that on purpose because I am excited. Yeah.
I'm excited too, man. No rush reading through these chats because we are only 18 minutes into these 7-hour stream. Disclaimer, we are not actually doing 7 hours. Someone's going to be sitting here at the end of like 4 hours and be like, what? Is there another half? Is there another stream? But there's not. Alexander Eagleson, welcome back. Great to see you. And that's everyone in the chat. Middle School Creation says, no connection, never heard of High School Creations until the last stream. That's a very cool coincidence. All right. Andor. We have some Black Series figures that were announced. We're going to go through the toys real quick. I mean, Ernie, are you still into Black Series?
Man, no. I haven't got a Black Series in so long.
Positive no.
Yeah, for real. Like, I saw the Obi-Wan stuff, and I haven't even got it yet. It was just, like, too expensive. They had it at our US for $26.99. And that was a Target, and I thought that was so high. I literally thought like it was tagged wrong, and I went to the scanner, and yeah, $26.99 at a Target in Anaheim, over by Disney, is when I saw them. So I haven't grabbed anything. I saw these. I didn't put a pre-order in. I mean, I know the one is the HasCon exclusive, but I haven't ever since like being here and the whole talking with Paul and seeing Paul shows. Like I have my orders in for all my Hot Toy stuff. I got 2 more payments left on the Boba, on the Black Boba. Corinne got me Fennec, and I have Cad Bane on order. And so I see it as I'm able to put a payment somewhere, then just get them and have them in a depression pile here waiting to open, because nothing has grabbed me like exciting wise. Maybe if I see them on clearance, yeah, but I've really made a different choice now.
Nice, man. You've really gone into that Hot Toys direction like Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, you opened 2 last Sunday?
I did. Yeah, no, that's the gift that keeps on giving. It's just and I'm it is one of those things where I still have so many unopened Hot Toys in storage now that I was saving for unboxings on this channel. As you can see, I've been trying to put them on display, which is a lot of fun behind me here, and I'm looking forward to expanding that. But it is just in terms of value, I feel like I get a lot more from Hot Toys, and the way Black Series is going up in price, they're going to be the same price as Hot Toys in the next little bit. It feels like, right? So yeah, it's just I had to like pick a lane and I just sort of switched off the inner pass, and it was just like with Hot Toys, at least I have a year to wait in between waves when stuff gets announced, and then the pre-orders, and then they come in and it's gorgeous. They just dropped the Cobb Vanth available now for pre-order, and that's not going to be available till the end of 2023. So it's that direction of funds and stuff like that. So yeah.
No, I hear you.
But I have to say though, I mean,
Yes.
some of the new Black Series stuff that's coming out, it's exciting. Like if I was still into it, I'd be like, oh, like, the Obi-Wan stuff, the Andor stuff that dropped. There's some really cool characters, and that's the mark of a good sort of toy is, when you see it on the show and you kind of go, oh, I wish I had a toy of that, of that figure, of that character, right? That's a great sign. But I'll just wait for the Hot Toys to come out.
Yoko, you recently got some Sideshow Star Wars stuff and some statues. I think you got the Sideshow Clone Wars.
Nice.
Anakin.
I'm trying to point at them.
and
I got
Obi-Wan?
Anakin and Obi-Wan, yes, and I love them. They're really cool figures. The Clone Wars ones.
Clone
They
Wars
actually
versions.
look like Clone Wars, Anakin and Obi-Wan. I was just gonna get Anakin and then wait for and pre-order Ahsoka, but then I was like, well, I like the Anakin so much, I got Obi-Wan the next day.
Ooh,
after I
nice.
arrived. Yeah,
Um,
they're cool.
Did you get
Paul,
that? Did you order that Bucky Barnes one, the Winter Soldier one, the new one with
I
Sebastian Stan with his?
I
with his
didn't.
short... You didn't.
No,
Why not?
Are you gonna get it?
No, I don't think so. It feels weird. Like it's
Because he's
like,
got clothes on. You can change him to Shower Bucky.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up, should I show you something that I received?
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah,
What's that
yeah.
about?
This got interesting really fast.
Yeah. Our first reveal of the night. Oh, that's great.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mario.
Oh, that was Mario. That's awesome.
Oh,
I got him, don't worry.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I got
good
Oh,
catch.
God, that scared me so bad.
It's like, oh, oops,
But-
the towel fell off. How
but-
could that have happened?
I got him, don't worry. But also he comes with a shower.
Yes. Oh
Good
my
job,
God.
Mario.
That is amazing.
That was
That
great.
is 796
My first-
Studios in the chat.
My first shower Bucky. I also saw him in real life though. At D23 Expo.
Oh, okay.
I was in the same giant room as him, but it counts.
That
And
does count.
what happened?
Thank you. He was introduced for Thunderbolts and I cheered. That's what happened.
Patty says
Yeah.
she's going to need a Thunderbolt shower of Bucky eventually. Well, they announced the HasLab and it wasn't shower Bucky, so very
I
sorry.
know.
Yoko.
Like, what the hell, Ryan and Dan? Thought we had an understanding.
Oh, you made it clear.
I
You know what happened.
Oh, Paul and I, we got to record, film, whatever the industry term is, an episode of Hunting Around. And
so lucky.
if you haven't seen them on this channel here, I go toy hunting with a friend at Toys R Us. The episode that I'm working on right now, Yoko is in it with the Enablers. They're in town. That should be going out Friday. I'm hoping to finish it. There's a lot of nonsense to sift through, a lot of unusables.
I know.
Um,
You should probably just skip us and go straight to Paul.
The channel member video with the behind the scenes and deleted scenes probably has just as much content as the live episode for everyone. But that was that was fun. And then Paul and I did one 2 weeks ago, so that'll be the episode after for everyone. So hopefully you can tune in and catch those hijinks. That was a ridiculous episode too. I don't know how much we can use from that one, Paul.
What do you mean? I only stole a little.
Oh my god.
I only shoplifted a little.
It was great.
Is there-
Sal, who is he's a district manager, right?
He's a
Was he a district manager?
director. He's a
Director?
director. Yeah, something.
He was amazing. I walked into the place. For those of you who don't know, like you go in before the store opens, and walked in and Sal's there. And the first thing he said, "All right, let's tear this place apart." He was like, "Oh, you're not really going to do that, are you?" It's like, no, just a little bit.
Off camera, he was like, "What?" All right, that's 26 minutes. See, this if we were recording the podcast, this is when we'd be like, all right, timestamp 26 minutes. This is where the actual content starts. But I think it's great warm up to have everyone back. Yoko, the film Star Wars Rogue One, or Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Where does that movie stand in your Star Wars rankings? You don't have to list every movie and then put it there. Just say like near the top or near the bottom, because I realized how open that question was.
Yeah, no, for me, like I'm not a Rogue One stan. Like I feel like a lot of you are. You know, I'm not.
What do you mean? What do you mean, you people?
I understand why people love Rogue One. It's just not for me. In the same way, just because like I don't know, I don't need to be depressed when I watch it. I'd rather watch something else. So for me, I guess what I'm trying to say is I never cared for Cassian. So this show, when they announced it, I was kind of like, whatever. Here's a show about a character I don't care about, but we'll see what happens. But you know, so my expectations were low. It looks, and the trailers came out. It looked a lot of fun. I got more excited for it. I'm just trying to say it. I was not one of those people that was like super into this, right? I'm not obsessed with Rogue One. I don't care about Cassian. But so I went into it, low expectations, open mind.
Hey, sometimes that's
hoping to see
great
other characters.
I saw a meme today where it's like if Dave Filoni directed this, and then they just showed like Ahsoka and Rex and all his characters in Andor. But no, it's I understand what you mean. Like it's a character that you know his ending, and you don't. There's a lot of people who are like, who?
Like I don't want to get attached. Like I don't need to like him. You know, like.
Okay, there's some underlying issues going on there. I think for maybe in hour 6.
Your Honor,
tonight.
I would like to list Yoko as a hostile witness for the prosecution.
What?
Oh my goodness, Ernie, where's Rogue One for you?
Man, total opposite of Yoko. I actually love Rogue One, and
when she said, you know, great. You people,
she did, right? So
I did.
That is true. Yeah, she knew exactly what she was saying. I like it, but I do agree. This wasn't something of like announced, like, oh yes, an Andor show. And I remember it more as when it was announced the very first time, it was supposed to be Andor and K2SO, and it is far from that. Because then I was kind of thinking like some type of hygiene show, and now we're here with what it is, and so I like it. I was into it. I wasn't all into it as much as I was until that last trailer came out a couple days before, and then I was full on in.
Heck yeah!
I don't need to like him.
There you go.
Paul, yourself?
I think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie of all time, and you're all crazy. No, I liked Rogue One a lot, and I would put it second in my list of Star Wars movies. I liked it because it was different, though. You know, with the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and then the sequel trilogy, there's a tone to them, which is great. That's the fun, adventurous sort of like quirky humor, swashbuckling sort of adventures, these heroes. What I liked about Rogue One was it just kind of, at least when I saw it, it was such a different sort of tone and pace, but still within the Star Wars universe. And I kind of appreciated that diversity in terms of the storytelling and the kinds of characters that we got and the narrative that was being shown. And it showed a more serious side of the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. I really liked that. When I heard that Andor was being made in the series, I wasn't a huge, it wasn't like Cassian Andor is my favorite character of all time, and if they don't make a series about him, I'm going to rip my skin off. It wasn't any of that. Like I liked his character. I like K2SO a lot. So I think I was a little bit more excited, like Ernie said, because I'd heard initially, oh, maybe K2SO is going to be in it. But that being said, I like that Andor was, he was kind of like he was like Han Solo. He was like the very beginning. He murders his informant when when he goes, "Your liability. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna die because of you," and he shoots him in cold blood. So immediately you're shown there's this guy who has been ruthless his entire time, and he's grown a conscience though, and that's what I liked about the end of Rogue One. He's like, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old, and there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that he wants to make up for, and that shift to going on that suicide mission to sort of make all the horrible things he's gone through worth it. I think it's an interesting character exploration, and I know there's been a lot of like hate online for Andor just because it's slow, it's this, it's that. It's too serious, it's too grim, and it's like, yeah, you can have different stories in the Star Wars universe and still be part of that universe. It doesn't just have to be, in my opinion, at least, the same type of storytelling all the way through. There are certain storytelling narratives like The Mandalorian, like Book of Boba Fett, like all these other stories that are pure Star Wars, which is great. But I do like the different kinds of stories that are being told, which is why you can have the animated stuff, which is why you can have the live action stuff. So I think you can go dark and gritty and detail and more sort of, I guess, adult oriented with the politics and storylines versus some of the other, all the other stories out there. That's what I like. It's a rich, fertile ground to explore. And I think for Star Wars to maintain its relevancy, it should be allowed to go in those different directions. So yes, I liked it.
Can I point out that I said I understand why other people put Rogue One at the top of their lists? It's just not for me. I'm just gonna say that.
I think it's the you people comment that really overshadowed.
For you people. You people know exactly who you people are. You OT lovers. You people.
Man, I feel like we need to put an asterisk next to Yoko's name. Just like her feelings are this. Just in case.
Ernie's cut.
Yeah.
Larry's coming back into the room.
I'm just saying.
Here comes Larry.
Yoko versus Rogue One.
Toyingaround in the chat. What's up? Either
No, I'm not.
Cheney or Dario, but thank you for being here.
Tuesday's laundry day.
Cassian Andor is dead
Did
to
I?
me. Well,
Did
he's
I
dead to everyone. He's dead to everyone. So Yoko can't really claim that quote because he did. For me, I think he did. It is a different style of Star Wars movie, Rogue One, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, it's not the happy ending that everyone wants. My wife was like, "Oh, I don't like it because they didn't kiss at the end." Wait, that's not her voice. I hope she's not listening. She said, "I don't like it because they don't kiss at the end. They die." And I'm like, you don't have to end it like that. But that's her reason. There's different. It's a huge galaxy. There's different stories going on in Star Wars. So, who isn't an OT lover? That's like a weird thing to say.
You put me in a corner. I had to say it.
Nobody puts you. Okay, so obviously that leads into this TV show Andor. We talked about Kenobi extensively, but now when we saw the trailer for this, I was getting excited as more and more stuff was being shown. Probably because we didn't hear much about it, but then as I was seeing the sets and the backgrounds and stuff, I was like, oh, this looks like there's a lot of stuff going on. So I wanted to see more, and here we are. Like Paul said, it may be a little bit slower, but we're 12 episodes, or is it 16 or 12 in the first season? It's up there. It's definitely more than the other series, and a second season has already been confirmed. So they can take their time with this kind of stuff and really focus on storytelling, character development, and just building up the world and other plot points. So it's definitely a different change of pace from previous Star Wars series. Rick Jones in the chat, we got some people sounding off in their top Star Wars properties: Empire, then New Hope, then The Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, and then Rogue One in 5. Cat Lives earlier said of the 11 movies, Rogue One is in the middle for him. Awesome. All right, let's get into the episode. Yeah, episode 1. I don't know. Did you find they were, they weren't the longest episodes, but I didn't screenshot or feel like that many things needed to be captured. I don't know how anyone else felt. They were interesting episodes, but kind of short. So hopefully we don't go 7 hours.
Probably will though.
37 minutes in, and we just started the first screen.
Yeah.
You tell me, Kevin.
We only have 5 hours left.
You tell me.
That's not the worst. That can't be the worst that we've done, Paul.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. 37 minutes in, I should let people know. Spoilers abound if you haven't seen this yet. It's been a week. The new episode comes out tonight. We're 38 minutes in. I've done my due diligence. I feel like if, anything further beyond that, it's on you. Christopher Colvin.
Hello there.
Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, just because. That's a
Where's the
fantastic
soju?
reason.
Oh, wrong show. Sorry.
Wrong show. This isn't that kind of show.
Sorry.
I do have soju upstairs, but not tonight. I have to steer this ship for the next 5 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if anyone got this vibe when he first comes down and he's walking on this long walkway with all the lights. It looks like some of the scenes in Rebels on Lothal. There's a lot of the highways that have these lights. I was watching this. I'm like, this looks awesome. The graphics and I think the CGI and all this stuff looked insane. They're on Morlana 1, the Preox and Morlana corporate zone, BBY 5. So I think in Rogue One they kind of show the different planets that they're on. So this is kind of continuing in that theme. But have we ever seen like actually on film or on TV them use BBY, which stands for before the Battle of Yavin 5 years? Because that's something that fans came up with, right? That's general terminology that OT fans would use that kind of term, right, Yoko? Ernie, Paul, Yoko, have you ever seen anything like that on film?
No, confirmed. This is the first time on film.
Yep.
That
confirmed
those references. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirmed, Kevin. Good job.
For sure.
Good job.
It's always stuff that has been said,
Yeah.
in conversations and talking with friends. So when it popped on the screen, I was just like, wow.
It's canon now.
Right. Yeah. It already threw me for this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. But generally speaking, I think the rule of thumb is a lot of stuff that has, I think, especially recently, that has always sort of been within the realm of the unofficial official terminology is slowly starting to become, I think, it's a vernacular that has it's been used by the fans, and it just, as more fans start creating this stuff, because it just becomes a part of that language in universe, and we just sort of take it for granted, right? Like, it's just suddenly everybody refers to it as BBY unofficially, and now boom. So the first time it's used in an official like series, everybody's like, "Oh, wow, yeah, it's cool." So,
yeah. Is there another instance, something else that you can think of that kind of got confirmed that fans like, kind of like what you just said? It's kind of just something the fans came up with and got canonized. RMD, you need to chill with the Bix comments. I'm glad Adria Ajorna, aka Bix Colleen, is in the Star Wars universe. I know, man. Me too. But this is episode 1. We're going to talk about 2 more episodes, and then there's a new episode tonight. She'll be there, and I know you want the hot toys of that, but maybe someone will make you an Android version like Yoko got. All right, so we're on this planet. These are like the corporate zone is like a big city that these corporations, all their employees kind of live and work in that area, and can go into these towns. And Cassian is going here to visit. Did you hear what these people in the bubbles we're doing or what they're there for? Are they just advertisings or?
I think I know what they're there for, but I didn't hear nothing. Supposedly there was the midwife droids
Yeah.
were heard in there. The
Uba.
Uba. Yeah.
And then one of the ones in the far back is actually I think it's a younger Boba Fett who's taking off his boots to show his feet to people.
I
Is
swear
this
to
a
God,
joke
you had
or
me for a
Ernie?
couple of seconds, dude. I was like, oh, how did I miss that? Oh my God. And he's where?
Look at my feet.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah,
of credits. Huh?
yeah,
I'll
he's
take
putting
off
them
my
up against
boots.
that glass. Yeah,
Oh God!
that's where it came from. It is.
So that's
In the
another
bubble.
example of fan fiction becoming real, Kevin.
Oh
Yes.
my! Oh, so are you confirming something for episode 4? Cat Liv says, "Was the Death Star always confirmed to be using a kyber crystal, or was that a fan theory that became canon?"
I think some of it might have been expanded universe stuff in the comics and the novelizations and whatnot. And with the Great Purge, when Disney took over Lucasfilm and a lot of stuff became decanonized, a lot of it's
Mhm.
all it's been really interesting because the sense that I get is any of the content creators, they can pick and choose now which ones they really enjoy using and just sort of reintegrate them back in. You know, like Thrawn became decanonized when Disney took over, but now he's back, right? Like that's an actual character that they've reintroduced in certain storylines. Certain characters that became decanonized in the expanded universe are starting to come back, get woven back in. They're all being sort of retconned or repurposed. But it's kind of like this really what is it like when the comic books did that Crisis on Infinite Earth, when there's so many different storylines that were just all over the place. They just sort of wiped the slate clean with one massive storyline and then just brought everything back into order. It's kind of that's what I would akin that to. So I'm sure there are many examples of things, and then we'll see them as well, of stories in the expanded universe, fan theories or whatever that are made into canon, just because A, they're really cool, and B, they serve the stories really well.
Right. Hey, Thomas D, welcome to the stream. So yeah, you're right. He walks into what you call it, a bar. There's ladies here on the hollow screen, and he's looking for. Wait, no, not these two guys. I don't remember what their names are. They're very forgettable. But he talks to the lady who's in charge, and he's looking for a girl from Canary, and she's like, "Oh, I'll ask around, but we don't have anyone here like that. There's somebody from this other planet who has these kind of same features as someone who would be from Canary." And I think that's one of the things, I guess, the distinguishing traits for people from that planet, because they say when they're looking for Andor, he has dark features. A brothel. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. A brothel. And these two guys are in there looking for a good time. They didn't like how Andor was talking to him. They're just trying to act like big shots. But Andor tells the lady that he's looking for his sister, and that kind of sets us on the path of his mission, presumably for the series. He leaves because there was a girl from Canary, but she's not there anymore. He leaves the bar and he's confronted in the alleyway. At first you just hear voices, and I didn't even realize this at first, Paul.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to a friend of yours, Justin Wu.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love the filmmaking in this series. He's like, this shot where you're right up in Andor's face and you can't see who's talking to him, just like he can't. You're kind of experiencing the same kind of mood, right? So the filmmaking to put you in the mood that Andor's in. I just hear a voice. And I remember once Justin said that to me, I think back and I'm like, yeah, I was kind of doing a Paul thing, trying to look around Andor's head to see who was behind him and who was talking. And
I knew exactly. Yeah. As soon as I heard the voices, it was like, well, of course they went after him, right? Because he slighted them. and they're petty enough, and they probably finished fast enough that they would go, "Hey, all right, we're done here. Let's go kick the shit out of that guy."
Mhm.
You know, and it just made sense. It was just like story wise, it was just like, yeah, I know who these guys are. They're the
It
ones
was like
they're looking for trouble.
the Star Wars grade school version of like, what are you looking at? Oh,
Yeah.
not much. Well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they chased him out. But yeah, that was a really cool way for Justin's a filmmaker.
Yes, he's
So-
a director. For those of you who don't know, he directed an episode of Kim's Convenience. He's also directed a couple of episodes of Run the Burbs. He's an not up and coming. He's an established director, but his star is really, really on the rise. Super talented, really smart, lots of fun. Keep your eyes and ears open for the name of Justin Wu.
Yes, and he had a panel at Fan Expo that you had a chance to. Were you moderating?
Yeah, I was lucky
MCing?
enough to. He asked me if I'd be interested, and I jumped at the chance. And yeah, it was great.
Super cool. So they get into a fight, and then I think there was a blaster ricochet that kind of bounces around and ends up knocking over is it quite a euphemism for murder, but he killed Andor killed one of the two guys.
Very low.
And
I thought he killed him with the headbutt to the back of the head. Like he hit him so hard, because you can do that, right? Like if you hit
Yeah.
somebody in the nose.
I
hard
thought it
enough,
was that blaster.
No, I think I think it's he hit him too hard, like in the right spot and just killed him right out. I think that's a much better stakes wise instead of a ricochet from a blaster bolt, because
That's
he
what I
wasn't even
thought it
holding
was,
the
too.
blaster when it went off.
Right.
Oh, that makes sense. Somehow I
So-
watched it twice, and maybe it's because of my phone. I couldn't see all the details.
You know,
But usually there aren't any downsides of watching through your phone. Who knows? But in cold blood, Andor's like, I'm just gonna kill you anyway. You recognize me. I thought there would be a build up, like somehow. We know he kills that informant, like you mentioned in Rogue One,
Yeah.
and that it would build up to that, and somehow this guy would have a chance. But no. Anyone else think he was going to let him go
no.
at all? No.
No, I didn't know what it was. It was a great setup though to really get you into it, right? Because it was kind of a fast setup, what you're talking about of who were the guys and everything like that. Because you get the awe feeling, right? Of he's looking for his sister. That was our setup. Like gets you that feel of awe, okay. And then of course you have the jerk authority figures. Then he did. I felt it was the head button as well too. Kill him. I didn't think he was going to kill him right away. I thought we were going to build up to this type of thing, especially as looking for a sister and he was running away and didn't want to confront them. And then so I really thought it was going to be like a setup, like, oh, okay, we're getting into a setup. I was totally shocked when we heard him pull the trigger. I was like, I literally out loud was like, whoa, okay, here we are. And it brings you right back to when he killed that informant in Rogue One. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he's already established as this type of guy, to where I was already in the feels of, oh, he's looking for his sister,
I think what I'm gonna like about this show is that these characters are all like gray area characters. Like I feel like we're so used to Star Wars being like, these are the good guys and these are who you're rooting for, and these
Yeah.
are the bad guys. And I think a show like this kind of shows that, like, is he really the good guy, right? And then the other guy, I forget his name, but the guy that you're being set up to dislike, like he thinks he's doing his job, and I know we'll get to him in a second, but like, does he think he's a bad guy? I don't think he thinks he's the bad guy. He thinks he's the good guy chasing down a murderer, right?
Yeah.
And I think that complexity makes these characters so much more interesting than just strictly he's the good guy. He does the right thing,
Yeah, there's always that like, oh, they're the rebellion, and they have to do some questionable things to get to the point that they're in.
Here's the thing, though. It's not the rebellion yet. He's
Right.
not part of the rebellion yet.
Right.
And from the episode, he's a bit of a scumbag, right?
Yeah.
He owes a lot of people money. He is like, but the thing is, he's a really smooth operator. Like he knows how to use. That's the thing about him. He's slick. He's very streetwise. And I think that moment, like I had no doubt that once that first guy on the ground, he realized he was dead. You could see the dread on his face. You could see his buddy, who was all blustered. Like he knew right away, I'm gonna die unless I can win him over. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And I knew right. And that's the thing about you know, when we talk about the suspense, like you think it's going to build up, it's just boom. That's the viciousness and the brutality of, I think, Cassian Andor, is once he makes up his mind that he has no qualms with cutting people loose if it's going to save his skin, type thing. And so he's just like really efficient, and it might kill him on the inside, but he knows what he needs to do to survive. And that's who I see right there. Cassian Andor is a survivor. When they come up, he knows they're after him, and he's got the moves down right away. Draw them in close. I've got 300 credits in my pocket. He's so smooth. The guy comes in. He's like, no, the other pocket. He goes for it, and then he jumps him. Like that is somebody who has been through a tussle.
Yeah,
before.
Experienced.
Yeah, so experienced with that. And he's the brutality he's like this really ruthless, sort of efficient killer in that sense. And so that's the thing. But then we find out that this starts into motion a lot of stuff that screws up his plans. And he's got to bail. He knows he's in deep Bantha Poodoo after this. He's in it so deep. And he's scrambling to like, he's, you know, well, we'll get to it later, but he's in pure survival mode and scramble mode. And from this one incident, and I think that's so compelling storytelling wise. It's just, it's so random, and it just screws him right up.
Completely blows up his spot, right? He takes off in this ship. Kind of looks like a Y-wing almost, right? With the engines on the side there. I thought it was really cool. It's always cool to see new ships in universe. And then on this is the screenshot that I went with. We have B2EMO. I don't know why he stopped in the middle of the street, but these creatures ran by, and one of them decides to take a stealth pee on him. And he does a very R2-esque move of zapping the creature on his way to meeting up with Cassian. So he's calling out to Cassian, who's sleeping in this ship in what looks like a junkyard, and he's like, and it kind of blends into someone calling him Casa. It flashes back to him as a child on Canary with these other children, and I believe we don't. Do you find it weird that they were speaking a different language? There was no subtitles, that they just went with, just guessing what they're saying based on body language, basically for all the episodes, not just the first one.
I think that's kind of cool, though. I think it kind of puts you in the place of the people that find them later, right? Like you can share that mindset of being somewhere in the unknown.
Yeah, I found it weird. I had to check my TV. Like, was it not on? It did. Because I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Did I miss it? Did I look away or something? And then to have it there. But then as it goes on, you kind of get the gist of exactly what's going on, right? Like you can get the conversation in your own head. So I thought that was crazy, though.
Hey, Winger Lose, good point. Says, did we get translations for Ewoks? No, not really. They just want to eat everybody. If we got the translations, it'd be like, that person looks tasty. I just ate a stormtrooper, and things like that. But we didn't get those subtitles, so those are the things that we missed.
Well, sorry. Along with that Ewok line, along those lines of the Ewoks, like they did eat humans, because where did they get that dress for Leia? Where did that come from? Suddenly it's like she shows up. Oh, look, some clothes we had lying around from people we didn't eat. It's just. Sorry, I just think that's really funny.
Yeah, that's what you missed. That's what we missed. We weren't ready for that. Now, as we're saying it, everyone feels uncomfortable. That's why they didn't give you the subtitles for that. See, you asked.
I think it's something where, though, if it's a non-humanoid character, you're okay with. Okay, I don't really understand. They're speaking alien, right? The Ewoks, angry little bears, right? If they're Rhodians or if they're Trandoshans, you kind of go, okay. But because they're human, very in everything, it's a little bit sort of like, I think naturally we want to sort of go, well, we should be able to understand what they're saying, and we get that anyways later on. Like you pretty much, maybe not every single little detail, but you get the gist of what they're going through. Like when he tries to put the paint on his face and the guy smacks his hand, and then that guy gets chastised. You kind of go, okay. The thing that got me was they're all kids. We're the adults, right? Like,
Right.
We're the adults. And why does everybody else speak with a British accent? I know why, but it was just like, oh, look, they're on planet England. Here we go. Right. Everyone speaks like this, right? Except for Cassian, but he's from a different planet. Anyways,
Yes.
carry
And
on.
that one officer, that main officer guy doesn't really have a British accent.
No, but if you close your eyes, he sounds like Tom Cruise. Somebody told me that over Instagram.
Oh boy.
And I closed. We did it. And it's like, oh my god, it sounds like Tom Cruise. Yeah, in those scenes. So try it next time. I can't remember who told me that, but if you listen to him speak, it's like, oh my god, he sounds just like Tom Cruise.
Should I try that now? I don't want it ruined for me. Anna says, I liked that there were no captions, forces us to take a look at and take in other elements of the narrative. Yeah, definitely looking around the rest of the scenes for clues. Because normally if you have an alien speaking, like Chewie would just growl, and then Han would say something like, no, I don't know what I want for dinner, and he'd kind of move the dialogue along that way. But yeah, this is definitely a change in pace. They're looking up right now because they see there's a ship in the sky. It's exploded and crash landing on their planet. What's up, Bjorn? Thanks for tuning in. How's it going, man? Going Geek over on Twitch. Haven't watched Andor, so I'm not watching this in case of spoilers. Oh, there's no in case. There's guaranteed spoilers. So thank you. It says, leaving my view here and with a lurk. Cool, man. See you later, Bjorn. They go back to the planet. We go to this wall of workers' gloves. It's just a visually just a really cool photo overall. There's some missing spots for these workers. Maybe one of them's Cassian. We don't know if he's working with these people, but he's meeting up with his friend, and they're making up an alibi for the night before because he killed 2 people and he knows people are after him. So like you said, Paul, he's experienced. He knows things are in motion. He's got to set up his story, and he was drinking nog with his friend late at night.
And I love the seamless way in which his friend sort of continued on the story. Says, you made fun of my choice of drink, and I was offended. As your provider and host, I was offended, and you've come here now. Oh shit!
Whoa!
Oh,
Apologize. Hold on.
Whole arm came off.
Total Ernie moment right there.
Because he saw the scratch on his face, right? Or where he got
the bruise.
hit in the face,
Yeah.
the bruise.
Which,
so he's like adding to his story to help him cover it up. What a great
Yeah.
friend.
Homie. Yeah, that was
A true homie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unlike the other guy. Yeah.
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
yo, if my girl asked where I was last night, I was with you, man, and we were drinking nog, and I slipped and I fell, and I got this mark on my face. And his friend really sells it too, because when he gets on the vehicle and he's driving off, he yells so that everyone can hear. He's like, hey, it's real cold at your house last night when I was there. Tell your mom to turn on the heat because I was there last night. Wink, wink. It's driving off and he's still going. So I think he did a very good job, not only solidifying the alibi, but just playing it up to make sure everyone heard it. No real, other than them being friends, they don't really talk about that relationship. We're just left to build on that.
Yeah, him, the way, like you said, the way of him finishing it, that they're close then. Like, we don't have to build on it even more of, who's who, is that his cousin, is it who, but just to finish it out like that, and oh, okay, that's his dude. All right.
The mic did a sneak attack. You okay, Paul?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. The base popped off the table. This is the Tom Cruise guy.
Oh, this is the one who sounds like Tom
this
Cruise?
guy.
Really?
If you close your eyes when he speaks, you think it's Tom Cruise. And I didn't believe it at first, and then we tried it. It's like, oh my god, he sounds like a young Tom Cruise.
I definitely have to try it now. I do. And Toy Rensu, cheers. That's what I had to do today.
Trying this Costco frozen boba packet. Is that what you have,
Yep.
Ernie?
Yeah. Like I said, I got somebody to, well, it's in my Disney cup, and I finished it. It was great. It wasn't like all of the other forced upon bobas that I've had. I had somebody cover my
Forced
did you put in
upon
there?
Forced upon.
Wow.
Well, no, because like every time I try and order something, I just go with what they say, and all the time you guys are like, "Nope, that is not right," and I'm like, okay. So
Did you get a churro from the food stand on the way out?
No. So
put in-
when I think it was like Obi-Wan. During that time at Costco, Corinne found a pack of them,
Right.
and I was like, okay, that's for emergency. Then I think she even sent you guys the picture or something.
She did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, so that's what I had the original today,
For
and I had to
emergencies.
make it.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I said, I barely had somebody cover my shift. I jammed home and I started it, and I mixed it all up, and it was delicious.
Wait, so it's frozen?
Mine wasn't frozen.
Like
Mine
just
was
the
in a
tapioca?
box.
Okay.
I hope I wasn't supposed to have in the freezer, because then I'm going to be really sick. But because I just had it in the cabinet all this time. It was a packet, and you got to do the water, and you got to heat up the boba, yada yada yada.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's fine.
It was
I mean,
delicious.
You won't die,
No,
but you know
but
you might
I
have
just wish you
a
were
lot
dead.
of yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of what?
Just make sure you get that Charmin Ultra Soft 4-ply ready,
Speaking of Costco, yes, yeah.
or Kirkland brand.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, Costco stuff is good. That's for another stream.
yeah.
I would love to talk about Costco. Spent like
Costco
$500 the other day.
Kirkland margarita. It's the way to
We
go.
don't have Kirkland vodka, Paul. That's the only
What?
downside.
You're
You
saying
don't?
that like it's a bad thing, Kevin.
Why?
Well, there's certain things in life that I don't think
You need
I
it
will
bulk?
be devastated over if I don't get to try. I think Kirkland Lake vodka is one of those. I'm sure it's fine, but it's not like I wake up at night going, I'm never going to get.
I'll never get to try that.
Yeah, my life isn't complete. It's not gonna. If it happens, for sure. But I don't stay up at night. Just like I'm sure you're not going to stay up at night going, why will I get a chance to try Kirkland Lake boba?
Well,
I
you
don't
know what?
maybe.
Now I'm going to stay up late at night
Now you are. Now
thinking, damn, I'm never going to get that Kirkland vodka sponsorship ever again. Thanks, Paul.
That's me ruining all the sponsorships for you. Say goodbye to Hasbro. Say goodbye to Kirkland Lake.
Bubble tea.
Bubble tea.
Yeah, all these other
Soju's
things.
still on the table.
Soju? No?
Still on the table. And not literally, but you know.
We cut to this dude who's filing a report with his. Oh, it would help if I had the screenshot up.
The young Tom Cruise.
Young Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
YTC, talking to his officer. He's filed a report.
And
I like-
somebody earlier on said, why are we talking negatively about Tom? I wasn't. What it is it's really weird that you don't notice it at first till somebody points it out, and then when you close your eyes, you go, "Oh my God, he does sound like Tom Cruise." So there's nothing negative about it. I love Top Gun Maverick. It's one of my favorite movies this year. I've seen a lot of, so I'm not speaking down about Tom Cruise at all. But what it is it's very interesting because he has a very distinct voice. If somebody else, if you close your eyes, you can go, "Oh my God, like he sounds like Tom Cruise." It's just an observation, not a judgment. So there you go.
There goes our Tom Cruise sponsorship. Thanks, Paul.
Guess who was supposed to be on at the end of the month? Not anymore.
Well, that's it.
I like this conversation because it gave us more perspective into how the Empire is running things at this point. There's a lot of these companies, corporations that are kind of controlling, helping keep order in different parts throughout the Empire. And this old officer guy's like, I got to go to an Imperial meeting with them, and guess what? I have to give them a report on crime rates. So you're not going to report this. Nobody got murdered. It was just a bunch of dudes leaving a brothel that's not supposed to exist here while they were on their shift. So that's not supposed to happen. So you're just going to file it as two guys getting drunk and it was an accident. And of course, I like when he's like, "Did you change your uniform?" He's like, "Might have tightened it up a bit, add some piping." Or change the pockets around.
Yeah, which already tells me this guy's a jerk.
For
It really did.
customizing his clothes.
Yeah,
He's not a jerk. He's just a total.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a keener. He's a keener. He's a guy that wants to win medals and do all these things for kind of the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those by the book. Like we need to that sense of self-importance. That's in direct contrast to his CO, who's like, "Oh fuck, this is like, you know."
But I love that he was so seasoned that he said everything that happened.
Yeah,
it was exactly the way that it happened. Exactly,
knew right away.
This dude still, well,
you'll see.
You had one job. You just had to make up that story, and that was it. But you couldn't let it go.
But then you don't get
entire opposite way,
right? But then you don't like. I mean, again, it's all these things that have to be in place for the story to get propelled forward, right? Because if he had done what a CO had said to do, Andor would have been fine. He would have run off and it would have been fine. But because this guy's type A personality, go get him, I need to win all the medals and get all of the promotions, like he pushes. And you can see too, he's kind of an outlier because everybody else is like, ugh. It's like, but I have to go and do all this stuff then, like with the logs, the flight logs, and everything else. So,
yeah.
So
that's
exactly
Wolf says this guy is the one that would make Carson Teva fill out more reports. Yeah, I think Carson Teva and the older dude here are kind of on the same page. Like, let's we're not going to do more paperwork.
Yeah, but Carson Teva would be smart enough not to report to this guy. That's the thing. That's why he says,
yes.
Lieutenant Reed's like, should we report this? It's like, do you want to fill out reports all day?
But time out. But let's look at him. What is he trying to do? He's trying to solve a murder. Okay, like
it's not a murder.
2 of his coworkers are dead, and he wants to bring. Is he doing it for the wrong reasons? Maybe, but he wants to bring justice to these murders.
What are his reasons? We don't know yet.
You guys are all conditioned to think bad guy. This nerd is a bad guy, and that's why you're hating on him. But look, here's a guy.
You guys, as in you people.
Wow, that's
you people.
Twice. You people count too. Chat.
Just trying to do his job.
I think I think you need a proper villain, and I'm going to use that as a term because he is the
an
foil
antagonist.
The antagonist. How's that?
Maybe Cassian is the antagonist. What if you look at it that way? Look at it from the lens. I challenge you to see him as the protagonist and Cassian
antagonist
as the antagonist.
Doesn't have to be.
But here's the thing, though. They accosted him. They were the ones who were the aggressors, and because they're in position of authority, right? That's the thing. That's why Andor's on the run. This is the whole thing. It's an abuse of power, no matter how you see it. And that's the thing. Murder, Andor was defending himself, except for when he shot that guy in the face. That's pretty much cold-blooded murder.
Yes, it was.
But this is all put in motion by a couple of guys.
You're going to say that was cold-blooded murder, but?
Yeah, I literally just say here, let me say it again. Yes, it was cold-blooded murder, but these were two figures with authority who were abusing that authority.
Yes.
And Andor has been kicked around.
Don't make a right, sir.
You can just see, like you said, it's a gray area, Ryoko. It's a gray area. It's not just right or wrong. These characters operate in the gray.
They're all assholes,
Yeah.
Hey, I totally agree with Yoko too. You're right, because I think he's just trying to solve the murder of 2 other employees, right? Not that they were his friends, but like, what do we need to do? But then that's where I feel like Paul's right too, because he's doing it, I feel, for a different type of reason to show everybody up that medal. Give me what I'm owed as soon as I figure this out and I capture the killer type thing. But you're right.
Employee of the month plaque.
Yeah, it depends on what we see. I always use Walking Dead as that, because somebody put it in the chat here. If we were to see it another different way, I think it was Chamba. And I always say that when when Rick went in, spoiler, sorry, when Rick went in and killed Negan's crew has been doing the same thing as we were. I mean, we were just introduced to Rick's crew first. That's the story that we follow.
Right.
But they cold-blooded went in and killed everybody. And so then Negan had to take action and try and kill them. So it's the same thing. Because if you imagine, if we started following Negan would be our hero. So
this is what I'm trying
everybody's
to say.
right. Everybody's right.
I don't know. But
This guy's still an asshole.
He was smashing
Yes.
skulls with a baseball bat. I don't know.
Yeah.
But first of all,
But
Killed everybody.
but if Anakin can kill younglings and be redeemed, okay, Andor can do this.
I don't think
But he
Luke
does
saw that
redeem
movie.
himself.
plan.
We've seen it. We've seen his ending.
Yeah, and he's actually done something to redeem himself. Vader just stood in some lightning.
He recants on his
sorry.
deathbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I'm sorry. And Luke's like, it's all right.
Unredeemable. Are we okay to move on from murder? But
YTC. Yeah. YTC.
YTC. All right. Yeah, this guy.
See? I've given that look before at work.
He's like he's been there for 20 years, and the new guy's like, but we got to do this. He's like, no, son, we don't. Just save yourself the headache. Look at me. I'm old. I've done this. Just take my advice. You don't care about employee of the month. So we cut back to Cassian. He's now on the run, and he goes to find Bix, who is working in this shop. It looks like she was working on like a engine from a pod racer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But again,
too.
it could be engines from any vehicles. They're just similar shapes. But she's working out of this shop, and he's saying, "Do you have your connects to this buyer? I have something for sale." And I thought it was interesting because she's like, "Oh, you've been holding out on me." So it seems like they've got this relationship where he's they're scavenging for things and flipping it, and right away he says back to her, he's like, "And you've been skimming off the top." And then, they just kind of have this understanding. But I'd like to hear more of their relationship, I guess. Can we kind of guess they were involved at some point?
There's ours.
This means sex.
Is that what it is? Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a new alternative to rock, paper, scissors. And now you could throw in sex.
This is Borat. No, but they meet later on in the bar. He kind of puts his hand on her hand, but she doesn't want any of it. She kind of brushes it aside, right? So it's kind of, and then he has kind of this reputation of being a ladies' man, right? Because Marva, she's like, "What about all the women? Did you tell them you're from Canary?" And then so that just kind of makes me think they were involved at some point, but at the same time they're working together. And he has this device. It's a very complicated name. Paul, you're into all these details. This is the device, also me doing a Rubik's Cube. But do you know what that device is that he has to flip?
Oh yeah. No, it's you can track. It's one of those things where you can track the coordinates of I think of other starships. It's got Imperial seals on it. It's a very for fuck's sakes. That's what I was reading. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, so they're husband and wife? Is that what Anna's saying?
No.
They do have a past.
I think it's safe to say they had a relationship, and they were.
Oh, they had more than spreadsheets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, the device.
Yes, getting back to the device. I think it's used to. I think it is used to track Imperial ships, which is why it's so important and valuable.
Right.
Right.
So he's trying to find a buyer for it to get some quick cash, and he's got to go on the lam. And then he gets in the street. We talked about him. He's kind of a hustler kind of player. He goes around. He owes people money. There's one of the people who kind of has his money tied up with him. And then this guy Vetch is kind of awesome. He's like, really? How?
What?
He's there for intimidation's sake.
Yeah, to be the big dude.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it. And again, I think this shows us how connected Andor is to everybody, right? That because he calls it out. Like, I know I owe you money for reals. Like, we're all friends. You're really gonna do this? You know what I mean? And then he even talks to him like he's making you do this. And the guy's like trying to tell him, "Shut up! Don't just leave him alone." I thought I just had to stand here. I thought that was great because he's calling everybody's bluff. Like, of course I'll get you your money. God, I know I owe you.
But he's got a reputation because the other guy is like, I'm not going to let you, go around until I forget how much you owe me.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so he's obviously got a reputation, and he kind of, he plays that line. Where it's like, yes, I have your money, but it's in play. I can't just wait. It's in play when it cashes out. Like, he's a hustler too. Right. So.
Yes, Lucy?
She says he looks just like Paul McCartney here.
The alien?
Yeah.
Or Andor?
Cassian.
He does look like Paul McCartney.
That was crazy, that picture you showed.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. I didn't see that until it was posted. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Watch that Beatles documentary on Disney Plus, and then like fall asleep, you wake up and you think you're watching Andor.
On the planet England. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cap Live says this alien is great. I want a figure of him. Dude, I thought the exact same thing when I saw him. And I think with this series, we see a lot more alien civilians, I think, more than
been a lot.
in Kenobi.
It was great.
Yeah. I think it's been a good mix. But he's like, how badly do you need money? You're working for this guy? He's like, I just had to stand here. What?
That's the next HasLab project.
No.
He just stands there.
And that's it. It goes with the
Oh,
clothes.
no.
The cardboard background. No,
I would
this
buy
be
him
perfect?
over a Reva lightsaber, though.
Yeah. Wouldn't this be great though? If like how we've always said Black Series, if they came with like Build-A-Figures, this would be the perfect Andor wave, right? With the big guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but Build-A-Figure.
I think it Vetch.
Yeah, it's sort of the V.
Is it really?
I wanted to say Vern, but I think it is Vetch.
I think it's Vetch because I saw a meme that was Mean Girls, and they were like, "Stop trying to make Vetch a thing."
I love Mean Girls.
How did Ernie laugh the hardest out of all?
I laughed.
I did.
I laughed.
I love Mean
You
Girls.
did, but the loudest was Ernie.
Stop trying to make vetch happen. I was
Exactly.
hearing it. I was hearing it in my head the right way, not how you said it.
It's almost October 3rd too. All right, go ahead.
Is that a significant date in the?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd. I'll be reposted on my stories on October 3rd.
All right. Did I
What are we talking
skip
about?
a whole bunch of stuff?
You're just very sparse on the screen caps yet again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. She went to this shop to it's kind of like in Breaking Bad when you call the vacuum guy and you give the secret code and then it has a different meaning. But she told the guy in the shop, and she goes into this communications tower to call her buyer to bring him in to meet Andor for the next episode. I feel like I'm missing a lot. Do you guys?
No. Right? I mean, that was it. Like the secret little code, and she has to press the buttons to get a signal out, and that was
because he goes back and says like, "I need you to line this guy up tomorrow." Right.
Yeah, I need this. Can you help me? The most important thing in this episode was this guy eating blue noodles out of a. I mean, even in Star Wars, there's like Chinese food takeout containers, which is awesome. And then this dude in the back who is definitely on his phone, just like not happy with work. These are some of the realest characters in Star Wars, most relatable that I've ever seen. Because that's me in the background at work, just on my phone, like, more toy releases, what's new, refresh, Instagram. And this dude, he's listening to music, eating noodles on his break. Blue Noodles coming soon to Galaxy's Edge. It says RMD.
Yeah, I would have to try that.
All right, let me get back to episode 2. Yeah, so these are quick episodes. Probably why I didn't have that many screens, and 1 hour is pretty.
At the end of episode 1, I was glad to know that we have 2 more coming. Not that it was slow, but I felt that it was a great build to the story to keep it going. I was interested to find out more than waiting a whole week.
If they premiered just that first episode, I don't think I'd be like, no, this show nothing really happened.
I think the first 3 episodes at once was a very good idea on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what I was so worried about at all. This stream is definitely under 7 hours for sure. Episode 2, we flash back to Kenari, and the children are. We see they're doing more. They're exploring their planet, and we see this giant. What we find out later on to be like I think a mining operation, because they mention mining accidents on Kenari through the Empire. That's what these kind of structures and layouts look like. And then Black on Ferrix. I think everything runs on this town clock, and we saw this guy in the trailers, and he's having the time of his life, ringing this this kind of almost clock tower. Which is it a bell? Not really a bell.
I think it's like
he's
bell.
He's got like a whole routine. It's ritualistic almost.
I want to know who wakes this dude up though.
Yeah, there's so much pressure.
Yeah, if he ends the day and starts the day, like, so what gets this dude up? You know what I'm saying?
Because the Watchers.
Yeah,
probably a cat.
Like like this is just his job. That's it. That's all he does.
But everyone's waking up like this is the clock for the whole town. Tim catches Bix kind of on the computer for a little bit, and she's like, I gotta go run errands, and he's super suspicious. He goes to check it, that was weird, check it, and he sees this kind of like a APB almost, where they put out Primor authority seeking a Kenari male resident of Ferrix for questioning. And this is another thing, do we ever see like screen text from like their computers show up like this on Star Wars at all?
I don't think so.
You always see it in another language.
That's right. It's an Arabesh.
That.
Mm-hmm.
So to have
this one also did something different. It showed other languages too, symbols that I had never seen before, than just the Arabesh. So, yeah, this came up like that. I mean, but the main thing on this dude too is, I know he was over there, but man, this guy is just pure jealousy, because like he can see it and he feels right. Like, what is their past? And as you learn that, okay, they're kind of close. I mean, this is all a jealousy thing, which sucks. Again, a whole nother setup to play into the story, right? But it's like, oh man, you don't have to do that, and he totally does. Once he rechecks the screen that she was just on, there it goes from there.
He does have to recheck, but when he rechecks it, like when you say usually it's Orabesh that comes up, is it like a hologram display that pops up? This is just like
I think this
is what he's reading.
I think this is just a stylized thing.
Yeah,
where they show like the text bubbles appearing on the screen, right? It's just like that's what's on the screen. So to save us the trouble of like doing what I do, crane to look at the screen a little bit better, they just put it up there.
Yeah, this is not happening in universe right now. Like, it's just for the viewer, which I think is a new thing. Ringer Lou says waiting for Yoko to defend this guy.
No,
actually,
this guy is the true villain of this show. And
okay. I was gonna say
no, petty, small man. That's all I have to say.
I feel like we're touching a lot of topics tonight.
Yoko's really missed the whole conversation of this for a while, right?
I was gonna say, like, what if he's in his perspective, he's the good guy, and we're gonna flip that around. But no,
No.
not for him.
He
No,
knows
wrong.
he's not. Yeah, he knows he's not doing right. He knows it. He does.
I don't know what his beef is, but he gets the booty call later on in the middle of the night. So I don't know.
And he
why
still
goes
wasn't
in.
happy.
Yeah, and he still
well,
snitched?
yeah, because he knows he effed up at that point. It was too late.
Yeah, very true.
Because he
you're right.
called.
Yeah, I'm
He
right.
squealed beforehand.
He snitched before.
I
All
forgot the order. He did. Yeah, he had already made the snitch.
There's-
You're right.
Made the snitch.
Yeah, he did. He even dialed it in. He even went around the corner. Didn't use his own home phone.
Yeah.
Didn't use his own radio. He had to go.
Nobody
to
uses their home phone because nobody has home phone.
There's a lot of firsts in this too, and this is like with B2 Emo. I love the fact that he speaks. Like he did not a series of beeps and boops like the other astromech droids, right? Usually the humanoid droids are the ones that speak in language, and the other ones, usually the ones on wheels, for lack of a better term, they don't. And so I love the fact that he he stutters, and you can tell the age, and he's got kind of a sad sort of tone to him. It's like, yes, I can lie. That's 2 lies. I'm gonna need to recharge. There's something so sad, but I love B2 Emo. Like I think he's once again, Star Wars. Damn it, you're winning me over with all these droids, these lovable characters, such great personalities. But there's so many things that the show is doing that are fresh that I like. With the use of title cards, with the text bubbles coming up with all the screens and the different things. And then there's another one that's coming up in the 3rd episode, which I can't wait to get to, but I don't want to drop it now because we're only an hour and 28 in. So we got to wait to the 5th hour before we start.
Not hour and 5 yet. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Slow your roll, Paul. We're gonna get there.
That's my jam. You know that. My jam is to jump ahead and spoil things.
You're totally right, Paul, that it was totally different, right? But yet still a great Star Wars feel. Yeah. That's how I kind of felt too.
Yeah,
we can go through so many differences of what they're doing compared to the norm that we know, but yet it's still Star Wars. The only thing with this B2 droid was I don't like the stutter because I thought of Dio too much.
Okay, but
from
this
whatchamacallit?
Yeah, B2 but B2, I think it's just because he's broken down. Like he's like old and busted, and you can tell.
Oh, so that's where his stutter comes from.
It's not a characteristic sort of like.
Okay.
He doesn't know. He never used to do that. He's just worn down. Where
I didn't
Dio
think of
is
that.
like that's sort of a cute little. Bap, bap, bap. That's how he speaks.
Yeah. See, to me, it went there too quick. But what you're saying, I get that now.
Because they show like during the flashback when he's newer, he doesn't stutter. I didn't
even notice that.
Yeah, check it out.
I didn't even
he doesn't
catch
stutter. He's all new, and he's trucking around. You can tell his servos and everything's new, and so that's the thing. It's that the progression of him breaking down, the age, is something I think is a really nice little touch. And the other thing too is Cassian forms a relationship like with K2SO, with B2 Emo. He has this ability to form these relationships with droids and different species like aliens,
but not humans apparently.
Well, yeah, we all have our blind spots.
Wait, the chat is saying he looks like Wally, but like all I see is a minion here. He's a red minion.
No, those guys in episode 3 are minions at the end.
Yes,
but I have a nice screenshot for that one.
I called out Wally too, though, to Corinne as soon as I seen him. I think it's the role, the tracks, and everything.
I like the concept of like making a robot lie. I don't think that's really something we've seen before. Again, there's a lot of new things being explored here. And the concept of creating a lie as a droid needs more power, more energy. Like with humans, you got to keep track of all your lies and stuff. It takes more mental effort. So the droid's like, I got to go charge up before I can make up now 2 lies for you. So I thought that was really cool, kind of perspective of how some of this programming works. So this is IB2 Emo. He B2 Emo. He's in the house with Marva. And earlier, Cassian's friend was like, "Hey, I was at the house. Tell your mom it's too cold in there." I'm assuming they're going by the story that this is his mom, and he's feeding her a whole story, like, "Oh, I'm got stuck last night, and I'm just making my way back from across town."
Mm.
But she already heard this kind of APB, and B2 reads it out. And then that's when she's like, "Oh, they said Canary male specifically. Who did you tell? We've made a lot of effort into never really telling anyone, being very cautious that we're not from there. Who did you tell? Is it all these women that you're with?" And he's like, "No, man, it was me." And then I think that's when B2 calls out Bix. He's like, "Bix, Bix, Bix," or something like that with the stutter. And then they're actually looking up Cassian's record. The Premor people. What did they write down? Cassian Andor. His story was he's from Fest, and he's been reported before for insurrection, destruction, and assault on an Imperial trooper. So they know who he is. They just have a hollow picture of him when he was younger.
Hey, Paul, that was a question I wanted to ask real quick, Kev. To me, was Fest new? Because I couldn't. It sounded new. I couldn't think of anywhere.
They're like this. The whole system seems new to me. Like a lot of these places are
Everything that
new.
they're saying, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe some of the nerds out there might know more than me, or look it up.
It was just because it was mentioned so much in it. You know what I'm saying? You're from
Yeah.
Fest, or he's from Fest, and I was like, "Are we supposed to know that or something?"
Yeah.
And am I not remembering right?
There's a lot
I'm
of
Googling.
planets.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Yoko. Torrentsu says, "Now lies just roll off the tongue for me."
And he looks weird, really young.
It's computer. He doesn't look like Paul McCartney there without the beard. He does not
Is
look
that
like
what
a
it
young
is?
Paul McCartney.
Is that all it is? Is just missing the beard? That's how much the difference is.
Exactly.
Ferrex first appeared in Andor.
Ferrex is the planet that they're
That's not what
on
we're
right
talking
now.
What are we talking about?
His bio says it's Fest.
Fest.
Do we know how to spell that?
I think it's FEST, right?
Oh, I'm sure Googling Star Wars Fest will give me the right.
Good thing the planet wasn't called Feet, because then you'd be
I
looking
found
up
it.
Star Wars Feet, and Ernie's
See my picture.
might come up.
Boba Feet.
Yeah.
Hey,
See
Bobo
my
Feet.
picture again.
full circle.
Bobo feet.
The planet Fest first appeared in the 1995 video game Star Wars Dark Forces.
Ah.
Oh.
Well, there you go. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Very,
Which was-
very deep cut.
Kind of where they got a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah, and that's, like Paul's saying, all the stuff that's decanonized, that they're bringing
Right.
in elements. And I think fans from before will kind of see that and appreciate, like, oh, they just used this from this back in the day. YTC runs into this other officer who's kind of just like him, all by the book, like, oh, we got to investigate the murder. Anything less wouldn't be acceptable. He speaks not only with a great accent, but also his tone, his voice is awesome too. He also makes this one noise when he salutes. It just sounds like a yelp. I don't know if I recorded this. It didn't play. Of course.
Nothing can be easy.
Is anyone talking? So. Oh, when he salutes and says "sir," he goes "so."
That was
I don't
this
know
guy?
why. Yeah, that was this guy. He's also, I think, the one who says shit later on.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, did I ruin it for you?
Thanks, buddy. And you chastised me for doing that. Holy shit. And you just casually drop in. I know it's your channel and your show and stuff. But if you're gonna call me out for it and just do it anyway, that's fine. That's fine. Fine. It's fine.
Wait, why did you want to bring it up though? It was like your favorite moment.
No, it's again a lot of firsts.
Oh,
That's the first
We were talking
instance
about
of
firsts.
like everybody was like, "Oh my god, they said
Huge.
shit. They say shit now. We say shit now." He didn't say dank ferric. They didn't say it was like
Right.
shit. And
Right.
it's so. I mean, again, it's not contemporary, but it's so not. Like they've never used that profanity.
I'm sure
usually
Chopper
don't.
has said a lot worse, actually.
Yeah,
It
in
was
droid speak.
so normal said that I didn't even catch it. I thought that was photoshopped in from all the memes that started going, that I had to rewatch it and actually see it appear on screen where, oh my God, like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
I really thought it was fake. I thought everybody, like, it was a Photoshop shit in there. And I was like, for reals? He said shit?
Yeah.
And then when I saw the whole scene play out, I was like, wow, I didn't even catch it
Yeah.
at all.
I mean, that is strange because you go through all this effort to be like, oh, people say Bantha Poodoo and Dank Ferric and all these other, and it's like, oh, shit. Like, let's include that too. I don't know, but did it take you out of the Star Wars illusion, or was it just so casual? We say it so often that like it works. Because sometimes some things that are, like you said, Paul, like from our world, takes me out of it for a brief second.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, it's just, I mean, they're all speaking in English, except for the droids. Series of clicks and beeps, but it is one of those things where it is so sort of contemporary. Sometimes again, it didn't bother me. A lot of people, I mean, it like a lot of things. If it's in context, it makes sense, and then fine. They use the majority of their weapons are modified, 20th century guns from World War II, right? That doesn't pull me out as much as it does some other people when they're unmodified, right? Like there's that whole hullabaloo about like, oh my God, they used an actual AK-47. Well, I guess this series is ruined for me now. So stuff like that where people say, yeah, I'll see you in hell. Although there are different forms of hell. There's not just one hell type thing. So that I'll give it a slide. But it's like when somebody says shit, I mean, it's so specific, right? But again, it's used in context. And like Ernie said, he didn't even like it was just so properly used. It just went right over his head and it didn't pull him out because you're invested in the story by that point, right? And you're just seeing everything fall to pieces. But it didn't really drag me, like pull me out. It pulls me out more when they use terms like dank ferric, and I'd never heard that
Kinda
before.
does.
What are they saying? What is that? Is it dank what? So you turn on the caption, you go dank ferric. Oh, and then so you have to figure out, oh, it's like their form of swearing, right?
Yeah.
It's like saying frack or goram or whatever. It's you kind of go, okay, you get the gist of it. But part of me is sort of like, yeah, say shit, say fuck, say damn hell ass kings, like just swear. But I get it.
Jason says Wilford Brimley said shit in the Ewoks movie.
What?
Cannot
Fact
confirm or
check.
deny that.
I gotta check that one.
Ernie's off to the Google. All right, so he finds another dude who is also trying for assistant to the regional manager.
This guy,
award.
to me, like he felt like a Harry Potter villain to me. That took me out of it more than anything.
God, that was great. Now I'm not going to be able not to unsee that. You're right.
Yeah.
Like he is definitely House Slytherin or what? Like
I don't even know if he's a real wizard, He's
just a Death Eater.
He's Or he works he definitely works in the ministry,
Yeah. But he's like that, he's that dude who's just like, I believe in the service. He's brainwashed. He's like, no, 100%. This is, like through and through, sort of like he drank the Kool-Aid and he marches to the beat of that particular drum. And he kind of like believes in that ideology. And he's like, right away, sir, this is what we need to do. And he's the perfect sort of conduit for the God, what's his name? Soller's character. Just sort of justifies like, yes. He's like, you're going to be coming with us, right, sir? You're going to be leading the troops, right? And just sort of feeds on that. It's exactly what he needs, and you can see the Tom Cruise character. That's what I'm going to call him.
YTC.
Yeah. What is it?
YTC. Young Tom Cruise.
Young Tom Cruise. Yeah. The YTC character just sort of go, yeah, and he's like, he's like that young lieutenant, and he's like, and the other guys is like the grizzled sergeant, who's just sort of like, okay, like we're gonna do this right, sir? Yeah, we're gonna do it by the book, yeah. And they're just feeding off of each other, and they, you see what happens when they go in together. Although I don't want to jump too far ahead. I'll let Kevin do that.
So bitter. Oh, that on brand. I get it now. I get it. The YTC is his name is his character is Cyril.
See, I didn't even know his name.
Or we can just go with YTC. I don't think it's mentioned early on, or maybe they do in his
Karn
in the office.
Cyril Karn.
So he formulates a plan with this dude. They need at least like 12 troopers to go down and capture Andor. What do you think the reason is to show? Actually, we'll get to it later on because I don't want to spoil things too early. We cut back to the junkyard on the ship where Andor it's that like a hideout for him or a hidden base, I guess. But that's this is the ship where he has.
You see where the ship is, what it's from, right? Like from the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Or is it this episode? You know where it's from. It's
their ship.
Yeah, it's their ship, and it's been junked, and that's where he's hiding out in, right, in the junkyard.
Yeah, I think it's cool how they kind of tied it in later on, but I guess you couldn't wait for that, Paul.
No, I just want to get in.
I did not catch that.
The checkerboard pattern on that is very, for me, is like because that's like the checker pattern that's on Big's Darklighter's helmet.
Oh,
right, on the both sides. So I'm wondering about the significance of that particular checker pattern with the black and yellow. I wanted to I wanted to look that up, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But
there has to be significance because they cut close to this, and then in the flashback, he hits that panel. Or he hits that panel here, but they use that panel later on.
Yeah.
So, hey, Jason, what's up, man? Good to see you.
It could be kind of as we explore where it is. I don't know, maybe that type of safe feeling, everything that he's going through. Because of what we see of how it ties into the story, so that not only his hideout, but he can feel safe there when he's not at home with her, of everything that he's going through. Even though it's abandoned and run out and wide open, he still feels like safe.
Yeah. Also, it's cool to have a second spot to hide your collectibles like he's doing here. We would like to have a second place for our toys. He hides his most valuable this piece of Imperial tech that he's going to sell to the buyer that Bix is connecting him with, which is this
Dr.
guy.
Solvig.
Yeah.
Is Thor going to show us?
Luthen Rail? Luthen, I guess we can just call him. He shows up on the planet. What? This screenshot makes no sense. Okay, they flash back, and the kids are going to go investigate that crashed ship. And a couple of bodies are kind of around the area, and they all have this kind of yellowish tint on their skin. Poisoned.
Yeah, you see when the ship goes across, and there's that explosion, and that puff of yellow.
Didn't see that till the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't. So the first time, totally telling Corinne, "What is this? Why are they yellow? What does that mean? Are this a new species?" Like, I didn't. And then literally watching the second time, huge puff of yellow smoke, right? And I'm like, oh, all
yeah.
right, never mind. Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, one of those bodies wasn't really a body. He was still alive, and he shoots the leader of young Cassian's people. So all of them go to their blow dart guns and they light this guy up.
Yeah.
You know, when we watched Mando and we saw Dr. Pershing with the clone Camino badge on his shirt, and we're like, oh, what does all that mean? Did anyone look for this and kind of wonder, like, oh, does this have any significance? Do we know where is this?
That's a separatist confederation. Like, that's a separatist symbol.
Before Galactic Empire.
No, so there was the Republic and the Separatists. That was a separatist.
That's the separatist
logo.
one.
Yeah, which is I think there's a lot of
okay.
everyone's like, but they said it was a Republic ship, so like a Republic ship would have a different logo, but that's a separatist confederation logo.
Do they say it's a Republic ship?
Yeah, no, that's what Marva and her buddy say. Look, they just killed a Republic officer. There's a Republic ship coming into orbit, right? They're going to be pissed, type thing.
Yeah.
So I was confused. I was like, oh, okay, but that's because that's the logo that it almost like it feels like it becomes the Imperial cog later on, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is the one before.
Yeah. So, but that's the separatist logo.
Okay.
And they did call it Republic. Yeah. I didn't catch that, but she did say that.
Perfect. Paul's got all the details. That's why we are.
But this is after, so it's 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. So 5 years before A New Hope, basically. So the Galactic Republic has fallen and has been reorganized into a new galactic empire, right?
So shouldn't
they
it have
already
been the
have
new one?
their cog already.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember in Bad Batch, it just happened, and they had bus stops, signs, and banners with all the new branding and everything.
Yeah. So like it's interesting because then if you think about it, the Republic becomes the Empire, which means the Separatists become the Alliance, the Rebellion. So in essence, that becomes the Republic, the old Republic symbol. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, so all the Separatists they're the ones that become the Rebel Alliance later on.
Right.
Right. So it's that weird sort of flip-flopping.
Are the Separatists the bad guys, Yoko, or are they the protagonists, or scumbag like Tim?
So far, they're all scumbags to me.
My God.
Every single character on this show.
Even this guy in the background?
I won't judge him too harshly yet.
We don't know enough about that alien, but I love their dynamic, this kind of bickering couple. They're working together. Cassian's trying to arrange some transportation. This ship coming out of hyperspace.
But do you go back to them at all? Because there was a very important piece of information dropped during this conversation about why we have the Lord of the Flies situation with the kids.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This guy's talking to whatever creature this is in the background. He's obviously reading the notice about the Canary male, and he's looking up Canary, and it's a mid-rim system, formerly part of the Empire, but there was a mining incident. Is that what you mean, Yoko?
Yes, I just thought that was an important point.
Yeah,
like, that's why all the adults died. It was just the kids that are left.
I wonder what it was. What kind of an accident kills all the adults and leaves all the children behind, unless all the children were at home?
That's what I think.
Work, or was it some sort of a biological thing that just, kind of like a Logan's Run thing, like anybody over the age of 18?
They're all working in the mines, maybe, or maybe it wasn't an accident,
It looked like an attack to me when you see the stuff around. I mean, if you looked at all of it, a lot of it was down, never returned to the kids. It was a way of kill all the adults. That's it. Who cares? Leave the children. I mean, it took that second flashback where I was like you, Paul, and I told Corinne, where's the adults? I just noticed there is no adults. Then you see their clothes are oversized and what they're wearing and everything like that. The shoes put together. And then you do get this info of the accident. You're like, oh, that's where it is. And then to flash back to Rogue One is he says, I've been in this since I was 6. So it's been that long since that accident happened where I feels like that is his turning point to him. Right? Was it that, or was it the other info that we find out later?
Yeah, good point, Ernie. I don't know why that sounded very disingenuous, but I actually meant it. I'm sorry.
No, I took it. It was. I agree with Yoko. Like this part just kind of put what everybody was thinking, right? But I'm with you, Paul. Like what did happen to me when we see him running past it all and you see everything falling over? I thought you could see like explosion marks. That's what I thought. That some type of attack, and why? What were they digging for? Because that thing was huge, and that there's no adults left.
Yeah,
just kids. So, and then my other thing on that too is the Qunari language a real Qunari language, or was that just had it been even longer than that, and the kids kind of made that their own? That was my only other thing about them not showing the subtitles to them talking.
Oh, was it like a language that evolved,
like
and that they only knew?
Correct.
Huh.
Right.
That's interesting.
That was the only thing.
I saw a bit where they were saying, because they interviewed the woman who played Marva, and apparently it is the children had to learn that language. It's a very specific language that was that has a structure that the children were taught, and the adults were not taught. So they had no idea what the children were saying. They kept it separate completely.
That's crazy.
Yeah, even in the script. So I think that's a pretty cool idea.
I wonder if they're going to use that a lot then, to go through that kind of effort to create a language and have these kids learn it. Almost like creating all that Dothraki language and how it sounded for Game of Thrones, right? And Valyrian. Did they have Valyrian? Anyway, I've been watching a lot of Hot D lately. All right. This ship is badass. I think this is the transport that the young Tom Cruise is using with his other ships. I don't know what this dude's deal is, but they have him using this have we gotten to the point where we're using like old Bluetooth headsets as like futuristic peripherals? Because people are like, I don't know. I've never seen that before. Kids like 15 and younger haven't seen a Bluetooth headset like this.
Everything old is new again, man.
What did you guys think of this guy?
I thought he was a spy.
Yeah, for me, it was weird. It was kind of just thrown in there, his conversation. And I don't know why, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he reminded me of the guy from Last Starfighter. The one who comes and gets him. I don't know why I kept seeing him. Like, no matter what. Yes. Every time that he kept talking the way he turned, I just kept thinking Last Starfighter. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. He was just so robot. I don't know if it was the robot-like or what it was, but
he did feel like an NPC that was there to guide you in the
That's
game.
Exactly.
And wouldn't leave you alone.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I get it. I've seen it. Yes. Okay, goodbye. I thought that the Stellan Skarsgård's character, Dr. Solveig, was so patient with him. I mean, you can't blow him off, right? You have to kind of go, that's
traveling salesman.
Can't blow my cover.
Traveling salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to sell you long distance cards or something.
Now that I have you alone, I'd like to talk about the warranty on your starship.
He opens up a suitcase and it's full of those Bluetooth headsets.
Have you tried these yet?
What's going on? Sorry, this has been very last minute getting these screenshots. I didn't have access to them until like today. If there's anything else missing, let me know, or in the chat, please. You can jump in at any point. Any points.
I didn't. I think that was the end, right? He showed up, he sees those things, and he rides, and he does the awkward ride with that guy.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of thought this guy was a bit of a spy, right? Because he's there. I mean, he's either really lonely and can't read any sort of hint, but like, there's got to be a reason for these characters.
Social
right?
cues.
Yeah. So, but there's got to be a reason for these characters, right? And it wasn't just straight up exposition, because that's kind of a lazy way of doing it. So that's why I kind of thought this guy is, like he's just sort of, those are the best spies, the ones who are kind of annoying, that you easily dismissible,
Yeah.
really easy to sort of be annoyed with, and completely forgettable in that sense, right? But can catch you in a weak moment and get information from
Yes.
you, right?
Yeah, because
So
they
that's
are
why-
annoying.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, oh, okay, like
Like the
some of
look guy, I'm
best-
just here to pick somebody up.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he-
It's like, oh,
and
I
he
was
let it
sitting on
slip.
the other row
when I was you
Yeah.
know?
He was sitting in the other row and actually like closed that gap, that distance to go sit with him and be like,
Yeah.
oh god, this is awkward. And he had the inside seat too. So I think episode 3 is a really cool turn. I think visually, I thought, I don't know, just cinematically, everything looked really great in episode 3. It was also
Everything
12:30
has
at night. Yeah, but I kind of dozed off
On the
and,
toilet with your phone in your hand.
Did your legs go numb? Did they start tingling? That's the
What's
worst.
that thing, Ernie? You said you get a pillow or something. You grab a towel and make a pillow. You
Yeah.
said that on the podcast.
You got to put it on the side of your head for that reason. Because those legs tingle. That's it, dude. You're done with.
I can't say I've ever done that, but
Gotta watch it.
oh my god, no!
Bad
I fell
thing.
asleep. I was watching this in bed, and I woke up and I watched it this morning. I'm like, this is the best episode out of all 3. Like, I can't believe I slept through it. It was actually really good.
Okay, so does the phone fall on you and wake you up, or no? Do you have it leaning? I hate when the phone falls on you. Just like that slap. Just oh.
I was
Didn't
watching
even
on my
know.
laptop, and I hated it because the screen was so large.
And it was too bright for you while you're trying to lay down. You have it all turned down.
I'll be back.
Exactly. All right, Paul is going to be
He's
right
so
back.
disgusted. You've chased him out of here.
Yeah, you watched it on your thing. But you're right. This thing visually has been great, right? I mean, we can see they're all sets and everything, and all the people in the background. To me, it you don't see that computer generated where it's just a couple or like that CGI look. Not that it's bad anywhere else, but like you can really tell everybody's there. Like we were saying, the aliens. There's so many different aliens that run through the town and everything. I love it. I love it just for that aspect of it. It does look great. To open on this one, all I can think of right here, I don't know if you guys watched Lost before,
Yeah,
but man, I was totally thinking of the hatch right here. It flashed back to it, and I was like, oh, this is Dharma. Don't go in there.
I forgot about that name. The Dharma
Yeah.
Initiative.
Do you see it? I mean, that's it right there.
Did they also use a octagon? Is this an octagon?
Yeah,
1, 2,
remember?
3. Is this
Missing is the Y.
a rhombus, Yoko? No, rhombus
No,
has to be
it's
4
an
sides.
octagon.
Octagon is 8. That's a
Yeah.
stop sign.
Can a rhombus only be 4 sides?
Yes.
Yoko's the rhombus expert.
Oh.
All what was it? All rhombuses are
Rhombus.
equilaterals, but not all equilateral. I don't remember. That was one of our most unhinged hours on Enablers. But this episode opens up young Cassian. After finding that ship and everyone left, he decides he's gonna go in and explore, and this is where he finds the dead bodies, the incredibly jaundiced dead bodies here. This dude, what is he wearing? This is armor or a lot of boxes, a lot of pouches, and he's exploring this ship, and I just love how they're keeping it in that timeline of the screens, just like A New Hope style of the 70s. They did it in Rogue One, and just keeping it throughout Star Wars. This kind of the kind of computer graphics that they had at that time. And this is are they breaking down these ships kind of like in Fallen Order, Paul?
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, that looks like a Venator class starship, right? Because it's post Clone Wars, so they're just dismantling the New Republic fleet. Look at that! You can see the little dudes in the jumpsuits there, right? Like on the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool. That's really cool.
They're just breaking down everything,
Yeah.
taking all those wires out, the parts.
And it makes more sense that, there'd be more than one scrapyard, in the galaxy, because there are a lot of ships. There's only so much they can do.
I think something just clicked for me, but I'll say it later, so it's chronological. But Cassian, he's about to make this deal. He's going to go tell his friend that I'm leaving. The money that I owe you, you can go get it from Marva. But I'm going to be gone as soon as possible. I like this kind of floating bus, and the rolling staircase that came up to it.
Yeah. The bus, the colors, Kevin, those of you who live in Toronto who've been there for a while, that reminds me of the old streetcars, the Red Rockets, way back. That's the same color scheme. And that's the first thing it reminded me of. It's like the old TTC streetcars.
It's been a while, but I kind of have vague memories of that. Sorry,
They
Paul.
still have a few that you can rent, actually, and they'll run along the tracks, and you can rent them for parties.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So that's what was the buyer's name? Luthen. That's the one he arrives on, and then as he's walking away, that weird NPC Bluetooth salesman there's like an extra shot of him, right? So, you think we're gonna see him again? It would make sense, because like you said, Paul, they wouldn't show these things or make these things for no reason.
Yeah, I think there's a significance to it.
Who could he be? Maybe he is a spy, because there is talks about spies later on. But we also flash back to the ship again. This is a younger Marva. They're I guess raiding the ship, salvaging the parts on here, and they come across young Cassian, and she kind of like drugs him.
She
to get
straight
him out
up
of there.
kidnaps him. Also a villain.
She did. You're totally right.
Straight up kidnaps him.
She
Very
did.
questionable move, right? Because the other dude's like,
Yeah.
no, he's got people too,
And-
and she's like, it won't matter.
Exactly.
Okay, so this was
Did
my
she-
thought on this, and seeing it the second time of that gas explosion. They come in with gas masks. Are they the ones who blew it up? I know you said that they're coming to salvage, but why did they have their masks and
my
everything
God.
ready to go?
Bad guys.
Right.
How would they know that there's
Yoko's-
gas?
Yes.
I think I saw somewhere or read somewhere that they're the ones that sabotaged the ship so they could go and strip it of these components. So the explosion that
Yes.
Marva and her pal, they're the ones that sabotaged the ship to make it crash. That's why they were ready to scavenge
Yeah,
stuff from
that's
it.
what it seems like. Totally. They're there for something, right?
Because why else would they be on
God.
that planet, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Like they
Nobody
just
Yeah,
knows
all
about
the
it.
other adults are dead,
yeah.
right? But then,
And
what
then
was that
she's like,
ship
I want a
doing?
child too. I will just take this one and make him mine.
She totally did. I thought the same thing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay.
I did get the sense that she was genuinely concerned that he was going to be, because he was there smashing things, and she was worried that if they just left him, whoever was going
That's
to
where the
save
statement
the
comes
ship would
in.
find him and kill him.
Right.
Because when the leader of the kids she got shot in the back by a dude who just woke up, saw her, and just shot her in the back.
Yeah.
None of this, what are you doing with this or that? He just straight up murdered her, right? But nothing. No, Yoko. Okay.
Oh,
was
you're
waiting.
waiting for me to
Yeah, I was
agree. I
waiting
was
for you to-
agreeing. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the thing. So
Murder,
I think
but murder, but-
whoever's in the ship, I mean, they obviously have a shoot first mentality type thing. So I think in that sense, she was really concerned that he's a kid, he's gonna get killed if we don't take him with us. He's not gonna come with us willingly. So here's the gas. to
She
save his
couldn't
life.
have that on her conscience. That's
I
wasn't-
think so.
it wasn't for his benefit. It was for hers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
still works. Ends justifies the means.
And all these years later, he's still there with her.
Hi.
But yeah, she's like, hey, B2, give me this whatever gas syringe thing, knocks him out, takes him out. The other dude grabs all the parts that they're robbing. That makes sense. But yeah, this ship is badass because it comes out of hyperspace and immediately launches all these little shuttles with the crew, Cyril's crew. They land on the planet's surface, and I don't know why he does a double take of this dude. This guy's watching him the whole time. I think they kind of have like disdain for these
Correct.
officers because later on, Cassian's friend was like, "Oh, I haven't seen these blue shirts in a while," and then they seem kind of disgusted by him. But it's just the double take. At first, I thought it was like this guy would show up again, like Bluetooth salesman, but I think it's just to show the displeasure of seeing these officers there.
Well, I mean, for sure, they are entering a hostile environment, right? I think there's a reason why the security forces haven't been on Ferrix for a while, and when you see what happens, like when they all start banging on those, that is not the what you do to friendly troops or to the that this is a well thought out sort of tactic to drive out intruders,
Right.
And they all buy into it because they're all like ding 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 doing it. It's like in Black Hawk Down in Mogadishu, they all start burning tires in the streets and they set up like those are signals, right? And they cordon off certain areas to trap the invading forces in certain streets and stuff like that. It almost feels like an insurrection right there.
We have some conflicting thoughts in the chat. Oxmeat Pete says, she's creepy to me now, but Matt Logic 44 says, I mean, she saved him. I mean, murder, but...
It is. It's that whole authority type thing again. And again, a great way to see the start of the Empire, right? I mean, that's basically what these guys are going to turn into. I mean, the look of the hat, the blue's different, but we know what it is. And so you show up, like Paul's saying, to this planet where you don't have it. So how much authority do you really have? Like, you should be listening to us, but you know, the whole banging and the whole close up that's going to happen. And this dude, just the double look is that, like, you know, like a cop, like you just rolled up into the hood, you show up on your ship, and obviously something's wrong. Why are you here?
Yeah,
you shouldn't be over here.
But there's a definite sense of mistrust and dislike. Yeah. They are not welcome. They roll in there, and that to me speaks of an abuse of power. When they do come
sounds like they're villains almost.
Well, they're certainly not welcome.
Yeah. And it gets to that where we're going to see where people like the Empire, right? Where what was the creature who picked up Obi-Wan, who was just all, the Empire's great, right? Yeah. And so these people are not about that.
I love the Empire.
Yeah, I love the Empire. I think so. That's the start of, it depends on where you're at, of who's conforming to it and who's not, or just leave us alone. We work all day. This is what we do type thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And they're here to kind of catch Cassian. He's waiting at this factory for Luthen, who's already met up with Bix. She's setting him up for the deal to go down. They meet in this I don't know, warehouse that has hanging, I don't know,
but
parts.
So cool.
Yeah,
was it engines or something? Yeah.
What a scene! Like, it was so cool to see. But the conversation here was that Luthen already knows a lot about Cassian and his background, and it sounds like he's trying to recruit him. He's like, what are you selling to me? How do I know I'm not getting ripped off, or that this will work? And he kind of deduces that, like, oh, you must have somebody who works in the junkyard leaving you these parts that they don't salvage so that you can go and sell it and make money. So do you think that's the relationship with him and his friend from episode 1 where they create the alibi? Because that guy's working on the ships, it seems like, right? Salvaging parts. And he's somehow getting them to Cassian, and he works with Bix to flip them.
Yeah, and is that the skimming from the top where that comes from? Like, it's just a whole...
I think there's definitely a correlation that's there. What's his name? Basso. I loved him. I thought he was a great character.
Brasso.
Obviously, Brasso. Yeah, he gets he's got the inside track because he's working on the yards, and Luthen says, so you bribe quartermasters to leave certain things on wrecks that you can take, and then you flip it, for profit and this and that. So there's that chain, but Brasso seems a little bit more on the straight and narrow. He's kind of like, when you're done this, get back to work, get your gloves, let's go to work. Like, just let's do some honest work type thing. Like, he sort of strikes me as that type of character. But in terms of what Luthen's doing, obviously he's heard of Cassian, of his abilities, his reputation, and he's kept an eye on him and stuff. And it's something that I think he wants to use. So yeah, he's definitely recruiting him, but it's also dual purpose. If he can also obtain things that are difficult to get, why not? Right? It's twofold. It's super efficient, and it makes sense on so many different levels. So yes.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah,
I agree
RMD
with
says
that.
this scene was so dope in IMAX during the Rogue One re-release in theaters. And Plasty's here.
What's up, Plasty?
This scene, it cuts back and forth, but everything in this factory warehouse, you have that speech from Cassian when he tells Luthen, like, he's like, there has to be a trick. How do you get all this stuff? That whole speech of, I just walk in there like I belong. They would never. They're so proud. They would never expect someone like me to get in. And he's like, I'd spit in their food and sleep in their beds and eat their oatmeal and all that stuff. I mean, that was one of the best lines that I saw from the trailer. And to see that scene followed up by the action afterwards, I mean, the whole thing was fantastic for me. What did you guys think about that speech? It kind of gives more perspective of the Empire, right?
Yeah, and the dislike of them. When he's saying, he straight called them fat and sassy. Like, they're so for reals. And he's like, so I just walk up in there and I take it, which is good. The one about this one, though, was when he called out about his dad, that his dad was hung and killed. That threw me off, because then what is the mining
hanged?
thing?
Yeah, he said he was
hanged. Laundry is hung. People are hanged.
Okay, hanged.
Frames are hung.
He was hanged, killed, death by
murder.
Them. Murder.
But
what did he do?
We don't know.
But that goes to the Kenari thing again. So where was if you're a kid there and it seems like all the adults got killed at the quarry at the mining accident, then that was your mom working, but your dad was somebody else who got killed.
Maybe it was an adoptive dad, because it's like Marva sort of becomes his mom, because Brasso says, tell your mom she can turn on the heat. She should turn on the heat, right? So maybe because like Marva's partner, the other dude on the ship, he's gone. So maybe he was the one that got caught and hanged, because if she's his Andor's mother figure, maybe
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, the partner was the father figure, and this and that. So
okay.
And that makes more sense timeline wise.
Yeah, if we're just going from Rogue One stuff and to tie this all in, and then you see this, that was the only thing that played out for me, was calling that, but I didn't even think of it that way. That's a good one.
Daniel, he be hung has a very different meaning. I think you should be more specific. Tell your mom I said hey. Paul, did you catch that when did you hear when Mike said that to you at Stormcrow?
Why? What did he say?
So we were watching the SNL sketch where it was Mark Wahlberg talks to animals, and he always says, say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, I was giving you a sticker. I'm like, what should I write as the autograph? Right. And then Mike he kept saying, say hello to your mother for me, but in a different way almost every time he said it. So he'd be like, "Tell your mom I said hi." So he shouted that when I was like, "What should I autograph?" And we don't know if you actually heard that part or not, because it would have seemed weird to you.
Your reaction
"Tell
made
your
it
mom I said
really
hi."
funny. Yeah. Because Mike was on the other end of the table. And you looked really confused. Like you were like, why does Mike want to say hi to my mom?
It's very weird. We were just like, oh God, I wonder, like Paul he's not in on the joke.
No, I understood. I know the reference actually for the Mike.
But he didn't say the reference correctly, so we weren't sure.
No, I honestly, I just thought he was just yelling random things because he was drunk. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Nice to meet you. I love Cassian's blaster. How cool is that thing? When the front chamber just flips every time. If that was a HasLab, I might back it. Wait, how much was the saber? $400?
$400 US.
Okay, I take back my statement. Okay, but yes, he reveals back at HasLab. Luthen reveals that he knew about Cassian's father, and he also becomes in 5 minutes, a mentor to him. Like rule number 1, rule number 2. What was rule number 1? Make sure don't keep anything on you that you can't control.
Yeah.
It was just super cool if he's just his mentor going forward. I didn't expect that at first, but that's why I watched it this morning. I'm like, oh my God, this episode's so good. How did I fall asleep? I remember waking up and seeing things falling down from the ceiling, and but that was it. Wait, where's my screenshot of the booty call with Bix and the other guy? Oh well. So much for that. But yes, in the middle of the panic, the security forces in town, Paul already mentioned it, they start banging on these metal things all around town. You hear it all over. They're at Cassian and Marva's house. They have her and B2 captive, and they've actually kind of just captured Bix. The guy is not a very good cop. He's like, where are you running from? Doesn't look like you're running home. And he just detains her. That's probably why they don't like these people at all. They just seem like I don't know. There's no laws that they're following. They'd make terrible cops. But they have her kind of tied up, and this guy sees it and makes the decision to charge a bunch of people with blasters.
It's established he's not the brightest light bulb in the room there, and he does charge, but they shoot him down, they murder him, but he's dumb, so it's okay, right, Yoko?
My gosh,
Buddy who shoots him, what's his punishment? Go get in the ship and bring it, and fly it above.
Give me your gun so you're not running with the evidence.
Yeah,
and then go grab the car.
Yeah,
basically,
so you're not running with the evidence. Oh my God.
Right. But already from the get-go, I think the whole, when we're putting the whole good guy and bad guy in perspective, the way that dude slammed her against the wall was such a because
was it what?
There you go. It's so upsetting because the authority figure, and she's like, what are you doing? And no question. And where she turned to go, and he slams her against that box on the wall, dude, and then starts bleeding, and then just handcuffs her there. That was too oh, these guys are just it already puts you in that feeling. And then yes, here comes this guy.
Well, she already found out that he snitched, so when he dies, I guess she wasn't.
So he was murdered, but it's okay because he's a snitch.
He was murdered. Yeah, he was a snitch. This is the guy. He's like, don't move. I liked him. And this is the dude who was a little bit too trigger happy. These are the minion type creatures. Look at them.
Oh.
They're so cute.
They're like little salamanders. They're running.
I want toys of this. Is Cat Liv still here? Would you want aliens of this? A 3-pack with these little... They look like the bros from Hawkeye.
Tracksuit Mafia?
Yeah. Right?
They do.
No, they just all have uniforms.
It is the
They're worker
tracksuit
bees.
mafia.
Yeah,
my
what
gosh.
aliens are those? Where's
Bro.
everyone's cell phones?
Yeah.
God,
That's
that
a
would have
good
been great if
question.
they looked at Cassie and Han and said, "Bro," and then just kept running.
They're
Bro.
Brolians. Yeah.
Bro.
Brolians, even better.
Yeah, they get the jump on Cyril here, and then this is when the barrel or the chamber of his blaster clicks, and I love in the background, Luthen's like, just kill him, shoot him. They're kind of like doing good cop, bad cop. How many people are you with? He's like, I don't know. Just kill him. We don't need him. Okay, 12. We have 12. And 2 officers. It's like, okay. Also, comms and other phones are really easy to be stepped on and destroyed in this universe. It seems like it's very little effort to step on someone's cell phone or communicator and put it out of commission. But they
Kevin,
kind of...
can I step on your cell phone?
I mean...
They're pretty easy to break. All these things are pretty easy to break. It's technology.
My phone case is pretty good. Here's my thing. Brasso tied up this guy's ship. You see him walking away from it in an earlier shot, and kind of you don't really know what he did, but then you see it here. He tied down the ship to some junk, and it ends up derailing the whole ship, and it smashes. But nobody told him to do it, right? He just knew they were there for Cassian, so he did it. Does that seem like a safe assumption?
Yeah, I mean, why else would a bunch of they blasted the comm channels with "We're looking for a Canary male."
Yeah,
Brasso knows he's Canary. They're saying like this highest priority. All these 3 drop ships full of goons comes down. Who else are they going to get? Right. So I think it's a safe bet. Brasso knows, and Cassian's been all like twitchy and buggy and like, I'm getting out of here type thing. So I think it was a fair bet that Brasso is a pretty sharp fella, knows this is going to happen and sabotages the ship in such a way that it's, I thought it was brilliant what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, Cap lives. There you go. Their community protects its own. That was great because they see the explosion and that the one that Yoko calls the Harry Potter villain. It's like, is that them? And like, that would put them behind us. But then they have this brilliant plan to send this speeder through with all these explosive charges. Is this when he says it, Paul?
Yeah. It's after the ship crashes and explodes. He goes, shit.
And that's when he says they're behind us because he feels that we are surrounded.
Yeah.
It's
he
an
thought
attack.
he was flanking and had the upper hand.
Yeah.
This is the shit.
Doesn't he take like a swig out of a flask too? Or am
He
I
does.
misremembering?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
He has a flask.
That was a flask too. I don't think that was blue milk. Yeah. That was for sure.
Hey, Jason, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Alfredo's here, says they're still streaming. It's only 2 hours 24. Come on.
3 episodes.
Yeah, we're only on episode 1 right now.
So let's talk about Rogue One.
We're about to get to the title credits.
This speeder. It looks like do we see
One from
something
Solo.
similar in Solo?
Well, it's not the exact kind, but like definitely along the same sort of like aesthetic, let's say, right?
Like this has a top on it.
Baseboard. Yeah. And it's like, with the cloth, the canvas doors instead of like the metal ones. Right? You can just see it's like the roll up, the soft top Jeeps. You can just sort of like cut through the doors if you need to break in.
Yeah, I really like the look of this one, but it's just a decoy. It blows up, and these two ride away. Again, as they're cutting through these fields of, I don't know what they're farming.
They look like rice paddies.
Yeah.
I don't know
right?
what that was. It was all
Or
different.
cranberry fields.
They were all different, each patch.
Yeah.
I
So
just
was
thought
that their
rice
food?
was Asian. Yeah, probably.
Right. I think that's what each square was, maybe like growing something different. I don't know. That was crazy too. That was something I'd never seen before. That felt, there you go. That felt weird.
In Star Wars or like in real
In
life?
Star Wars, I felt.
Okay.
Like this whole square thing. This seems very Walt Disney World. What what's that? What's that ride? The Earth or something like that, where they show you everything they grow. That's
Aren't you
what
the
it feels
Disney
like.
expert?
I can't remember it. I've only been there a couple times. It's a small boat ride where they tell you that they grow everything themselves. That's what it felt like right there. I've seen all the squares.
Yeah, but I think this ending, cutting together all the different players and all the different scenes, I thought it was, her shot here for Marva was really, really dramatic and powerful. Her sitting there crying, holding Cassian's, what would you call that? Blowy tube dart stick?
Blow dart gun.
That's the one.
Yeah. Like she knows he's gone. I mean, after a long time, right? I mean, they've been together for so long.
Since she
Patty
kidnapped
says-
him.
She
He's
kidnapped
like,
him.
my
But
pet ran away. Patty says it's the Living with the Land at Epcot.
There you go. Thanks. That's it. That one.
All right, Luis, have a great night. Jason says the editing was superb along with all the acting. Yeah, it was. I want to rewatch this another
Visually
time.
very, very good. There we go.
As it's cutting back and forth, the
Yeah.
flashback of when they're flying off. Here's that same panel with the same pattern, the checkerboard pattern that possibly Cassian's dad, adoptive dad.
Mhm.
This is the partner,
Kidnapped dad.
kidnapped accomplice.
Yeah.
Can't unsee it now.
Oh, and back to this guy. Oh, I went back to grab that screenshot at the end. And that sets us up for episode 4 tonight, which is in a few hours when we're ending the stream.
Midnight 30.
2.5 hours.
Midnight 30. Sorry, go ahead, Ernie.
3.5 hours.
The ending was cool. Like you're saying, it tied it together. Of yes, the kidnapping. She took him. He woke up, and I was very
but
But I was very surprised though, right when he did though wake up out of it, that he wasn't alarmed at all. He just stared at her, because I did, like you said, she just grabbed him, but then he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, okay, this is where I'm going now." That was kind of weird, and you get that one. And the only other thing for me was that when he whistled for his ship like a horse, that was
What was
crazy
that?
cool.
Is that his
know.
car starter? You just whistled?
Is there somebody else on the ship, or what? What was that?
Mhm.
I thought that was going to be the reveal of K2SO when he whistled and it started, and I was like, "Oh, wait, that was just kind of crazy."
I didn't catch that, but I think like that was probably the first time he's been on a ship or in space, right?
Mhm.
So I think maybe it was just more
As a kid,
the wonderment of being on there.
Oh,
That
Instead of I got kidnapped.
right, yeah.
So, this was filmed in England. Did anyone feel like I don't know? It's one of the first things I noticed. It seemed like everything seemed more
British.
realistic.
Everyone.
There was that.
That's what struck me. Is all the almost 90% of the characters had a British accent,
right?
Yeah.
Which is like
It was all
it's in universe, because like you look at A New Hope, a lot of the Imperial officers had the British sort of accent and whatnot.
Mhm.
But it is, after watching so many series that were shot in North America, and hearing just sort of that neutral accent, suddenly having a show that is very heavily accented was a bit like, oh, okay, Planet England. That's what it felt like to me. And it was like, you could tell this is filmed in the UK. But I also like the fact that they didn't use a ton, like visually, I think the sets were stunning. They used a lot of practical sets, and I'm always a big fan of that as well. They did a lot of old school sort of techniques. It had a very cinematic feeling to it, I think.
Right.
The direction, the cinematography, the lighting, the costumes, everything was on point. For me, I really enjoyed it. I missed my TV because I've been watching the series on my iPad. The TV has been packed away for staging purposes. So it's like everything's so small. So Kevin, I don't know how you watch all that stuff on your phone.
Well, I've managed to put together a decent series of recap shows, so you know it's not impossible. But yeah, stuff like this, right? It looks like they fully built out a tunnel like this
Mhm.
just for like practical sets and shots. So, um,
But they'll do
Yeah.
that on the Mandalorian as well. I'm just talking about like the the big scale things, like the town that they're in. That was all built out. But then for Mandalorian, Navarro, a big portion of that was built out. Yeah,
oh
Oh.
that's high
wow,
tech, Kev. I love how you're using a screen grab from your phone.
I didn't have a time to put it on my
No, you
computer.
did not. But they'll do that. They did that for Mando season 2 when you know that scene with Cara Dune when I'm walking away. That's a full ass walk. They had a big crane, and that's in the back lot. And they, you know, that
full
they
ass
created a
walk?
town. It was a
As
full
opposed
ass
to
walk,
half.
long walk.
Asked.
I had to walk all the way, and they had mock-ups of the X-wings that I was walking towards way at the other end, and they had it populated with a ton of background performers, everybody in gorgeous costumes. They had real fire pits going, smoke everywhere, you know, and they had that fine black sort of volcanic dirt that was, you know, so they will use that. It's just for some of the other bits where they have to go to location for, they save money by just filming it in the volume.
Right.
Tell us more,
Right.
Paul. Tell us more
So-
about the sets.
That was season 2.
Beautiful. I had no idea. Wow. That's awesome.
Do they reuse some of those Tatooine scenes, the street ones in Kenobi? You think? Because they had the practical Mos Eisley for the chase scene in Boba Fett, right? Do they just repurpose it and say it's another part of Tatooine that Kenobi's in, and we can just reuse these buildings?
I'm sure there's some. I mean, it only makes sense to,
Yeah,
be able to repurpose generic sort of buildings, facades, and stuff like that. That just makes sense. I couldn't tell you for sure though, because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like the Universal set of like Back to the Future, how that square is used in
Right.
so many
Yeah.
movies. All you do is change everything
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, but you know, I think it definitely has a different feel in this series. But like that very high tech photo I posted up, they did have a full practical set for this town here when they're running around too, so they can get a lot of different shots of the Cassian going through the streets, Bix, all the characters too. So I think that's super cool. Yeah, I think it was a great start to the series. 3 short episodes could easily have been like one hour. You know, it kind of has that feel. But there's a lot of good setup in there, and I think this cliffhanger, although short-lived for us, well, for me anyway, because I just watched episode 3 this morning, and we get it tonight. I'm really excited for episode 4. Real quick, Alfredo M.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Thank you for the super chat. Says, was the volume used on Andor? I don't know. P.S. Go to bed. Is that for all of us, or you're going to bed? But thank you for the super chat. I don't know if it was used.
I don't think it
Jones
was.
says,
Yeah,
is there
well,
multiple volumes that they?
it was shot out there, right? That's what I was going to say. Is there more than one volume? I
Yeah,
thought the
there's-
volume was
it's-
only out here.
No. The volume is I mean, the volume is the unofficial name for it. It's the official name, and this is for ILM. They call it the ILM Stagecraft. But there's another company called Pixamondo. They're the ones that we use for Avatar. Like it's not. The technology is the same. The specific sort of proprietary names are different. I know Sony is developing their version, which is the next generation of the volume, because they have right now as it is, it's like the LED screens that go in a circle and the ceiling. But from what I'm hearing, they're also working on the floor, being able to project an image. as
Wow.
well. So yeah,
Whoa.
I mean, it's really, really. I mean, you think of the iPhone and how it was just released in 2007, how far ahead we are now in terms of smartphone technology and applications. The same thing is happening with stagecraft. They're just as filmmakers, more and more filmmakers use it. They find some of the limitations and they work with them to tweak them to say, okay, well, if it did this as well, this would help, or this is a downfall of using the volume. And they're finding that out, but they are building them. They have a number of them popping up all over the world because it makes sense. And they have lower budget versions of it too, right? So they'll have like mini versions where it's maybe not this curved screen, but you can see Bucketheads, the film. It's a fan film made by a group in Vancouver. They had a mini sort of LCD projected screen that they were able to use for for some of their bigger scenes. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
because some people in the chat here, they do toy photography too. And, while you have your props to build your scene, you have like a digital diorama in the background. You have like a computer screen with an image and you can kind of blend it, which is kind of like, very small scale kind of version of this. But when I saw this one part of the Kenobi behind the scenes show on Disney Plus, there's that scene in the Inquisitorius building, and Reva's walking out. And not only is it just like an image on the screen, like it was also kind of zooming in, and it was timed in with the camera moving to give this effect. I didn't even know that it was like that they kind of, it moved and then timed it with the camera together. So I saw that behind the scenes thing. I still have to finish it, but it's super cool and gives more of like a different angle on this kind of stuff. And they show my sideshow Mythos Kenobi, as they use that figure for reference for creating some props for Kenobi too. But yeah, Jason, Digirama, there you go. A lot of use in toy photography too. So, but doesn't seem like there's much of that for Andor. Yoko, what are we looking forward to for tonight's episode? And I almost said dump 30, but midnight 30.
Well, let's see if there's another murder butt situation. we should have a murder butt tally for this season.
We have a you people tally for tonight. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But no, so like contrary to how I might be making it seem, I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes of Andor, and I'm kind of having fun with you guys, but kind of having fun with you guys, not that much fun, just a little bit. But
you missed us.
I did. I missed you guys. But no, like my thing is I like having no expectations and no hopes for this show. That sounds a little dramatic, but it's just I'm just there for the ride. I'm enjoying it. Maybe well, no, I don't think they can make me like Cassian, but it's the most exciting part to me is that it's the same timeline as Star Wars Rebels. So I'm really hoping some paths are crossed somewhere along the way.
More Ahsoka.
I don't even think Ahsoka, but the like Hera, like the Rebels crew.
Yeah.
Like,
somebody sent me a screenshot that in that background of that yard was a ship like the Ghost.
Yeah, like one of the.
They said maybe
same type of ship.
Yeah, which is cool, right? Because you do kind of think that way.
I know
Ernie,
there are people who don't want who doesn't need to be tied to anything else, blah blah blah. But like, I'm all for Star Wars Rebels to be
correct,
brought more into mainstream. So
absolutely.
Good.
Well, it'll be brought to Ernie. First 3 episodes.
Yeah, really good. Like I was saying earlier, I'm glad it was released that way. I felt it was a perfect release to explain and get there, and we're totally set up. I like we don't know how the rebellion starts or where the empire goes, right? So I'm really liking this. We don't know facts behind it of, well, this has to happen, right? We watch Rogue One and you're knowing, well, God, they have to all die. And, they should be showing this. And so that's great not to know. And we're just getting his character and these other characters were introduced to us. So I like the whole not knowing part and taking a Star Wars ride, which so far is good of not having like it was said in there, your Jedis or lightsabers or that walking around, that you get this freshness of so much different than our Star Wars, but it was still Star Wars, and we don't know what is going to happen. I like that. So tonight, I hope we continue on that of just it's going to roll all together. I hope there's not a lot of jumping around. This is our main plot right now.
Yeah, I like the Favreau verse and the Filoni elements of the other series, but it's cool to have like a different vibe for it too for this series. Paul, what
Not
did you
enough
think?
murder. I think
Not
there should
enough?
be more murders. I think no. I'm just gonna speak to because we talked to death about it, but I do like the pace of this. This is a series that isn't in a huge rush, and I love the fact that it's going to be 12 episodes for season 1. It's been greenlit for season 2 already. It just, for me, these first 3 episodes were a great sort of like almost an origin story beginnings bit. You realize we still haven't met Mon Mothma's character yet. She's going to be in it.
Exactly.
We haven't seen any Imperials. Nothing about the Empire, right? The security forces, these are it's private security and this and that. So it's really interesting that we there's still so much to get to. But I like the deliberateness of it. I do like the tone of it as well, because it is a refreshing change in my mind to the Favreau and Filoni, and I'm all in on the Favreau Filoni universe. Like I'm all in on that too. But it's also it's good to get something different. It's something that I enjoy, and the Cassian Andor character is one that is very complex that I like. He's not likable because he's a user, but he's also a survivor, and it's really interesting to have that sort of character where his where he ends up, and to see how he gets there in a compelling way. I think it's a really interesting way of sort of showing how the rebellion begins to form and how it is very fractured, because you have the extremists like Saw Gerrera, who are like they're too extreme, and then you have the intermediates, and you have like it's very realistic, and they sort of touched on that in Rogue One when they have that big meeting of the rebellion and they're all squabbling and they don't know what to do, and half of them want to give up and run away and the other half are like, no, let's stay and fight. And so the scale of the universe is what I love too. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, same here, man. It's just I didn't expect to be this invested in it. Like, okay, Cassian was all right. He's dead, but does he need his own series? But the way it's been going, and like you said, there's still Mon Mothma, who's a huge part of the rebellion, and we've seen her in the trailer that hasn't even been referenced to, like, and any of the Imperial officers that they show in the trailers. So 12 episodes, there's gonna be a lot more cool stuff, so I can't wait for tonight. It's a busy week. It's Andor, and then She-Hulk, and then a whole bunch of shows. So there's a lot of amazing shows that we can get to this week. Here it is. I found it.
I love She-Hulk.
It's the same person, right?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And yes,
So
Ernie, I
crazy.
enjoy She-Hulk too.
Yeah, She-Hulk's really good.
So the new episode is out tonight in 3 hours, basically midnight West Coast time. Yoko will be on midnight 30 on her Twitch channel. We will be talking about this episode next. Paul, you good for Monday, right?
Yes.
I think you said in our chat,
Yeah.
Monday
This weekend
works
is
best for
this
you.
weekend is terrible for me. Monday should be good.
Yeah, just so we can all be here and do this together. We will do the episode 4 recap next Monday. Again, it's not easy to get 4 people together to do this. Everyone has very busy schedules, so obviously thank you all for making it, but we want to try to get all of us at the same time. So Monday will be the next episode, 9-ish, hopefully, same as tonight. And until then, you can watch Yoko in 3.5-ish hours.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Ernie, are you streaming on Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. I'll do my best until the computer gets going. Like I get glitches and it has to catch up to itself and everything. But tonight held on, which I'm so happy for. So should be rolling 5:30 p.m.
Plug away. If people, they're not following your channel now, what's going to happen at 5:30 p.m.?
The Fallen Fett Chronicles on my YouTube channel. It's kind of ventured off into my own little show of a variety of stuff. Who knows what's going to happen? I have people show up in the chat. I always put invites out there to everybody. So sometimes people come on and we go from everywhere, from all types of talk to go on. And then Saturdays, Corinne and I are trying to get back on schedule to bring back How We Do Disney for all the Disney news. Like Florida tomorrow, Disney World's actually closed because of the hurricane. Wednesday and Thursday. That's crazy.
Oh,
I hope everybody's safe out there. Yeah, they closed it. So to everybody in Florida, stay safe out there.
Yeah, my friend's down there right now.
That's supposed to be going? Yeah.
He's there now. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, they closed. And last I heard, they were supposed to be evacuating places. So I would definitely check on your friend. So with that on Saturdays, and then Toy Migos, They're Not Dolls on Thursday nights, and then Star Wars Talk with the Starlight Digest Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
Nice.
Yes.
And while we're talking about all this stuff, don't forget to check out Boba Squadron on Instagram for all of our updates. Paul, are you doing a Sunday stream? I know you're super busy, but and packing and whatnot.
Yeah. That's a plan. Usually I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, Bitter-Asian Dude Inc., where Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, I do Fun Boxing Sundays, where I open up a geeky collectible, do a half-ass review. We drink, have a drinking game, and we chat. Last little bit, it's been all over the place. I was able to do live stream last Sunday, but it was much later. This Sunday, if I do stream again, it will be probably past 9:00 p.m. Eastern, because my youngest plays baseball. I'm a coach on his team. And so family comes first. But that's a plan. Sunday, hopefully I can get that done. And I've got a couple of things still kicking on. Stuff still being delivered here. So I'll be unboxing those things. Yeah, but usually that's the deal. I want to start releasing shooting more straight up videos instead of live streams. But until then, you can catch me on Boba Squadron. But I'm also going to plug Yoko's Midnight 30 crew, because when I was out in the West Coast, that was one of the funnest things, is staying up, watching the episode, and then just jumping on Yoko's Twitch channel, because it's a great way to just sort of like, oh my God, I just saw something and I need to process this, and chatting about it. It's a great group of people that Yoko has on her channel. And it's always fun to hang out with Yoko online. So if you're on the West Coast, or if you're
in IRL,
seriously, yeah. So
yes,
got to plug that. And of course, Ernie's channel is tons of fun too. And who knows, every once in a while,
thanks,
Yoko or Kevin or myself or somebody else will pop on. You never know. And Midnight Thirsty, yes.
Sometimes it be thirsty.
Sometimes. And of course,
now that you have that shower buck.
Yeah,
I know.
And I'll let Kevin plug his own stuff, because he's going to be up next, and he doesn't need my endorsement. He's growing his channel in leaps and bounds and doing some really wonderful stuff out there. So take it away, Kevin.
Just say
Kev's
all of
putting
it.
in that hustle.
Can you use the script that I gave you, Paul, and read everything, and I can use it for all of my promos and reels going forward. No, unboxing Thursdays this week. If you can tune in, I'm going to be sitting down and opening some toys with Poncheesy, fellow collector, toy photographer, very talented dude as well. Does a lot of video production, does great work, does the ACBA podcast. We're going to open up some toys, 9:00 Eastern, right here on YouTube and Twitch. Episode 5 of Hunting Around is out hopefully Friday. I'm gonna rush to finish it this week with the enablers. Again, a lot to censor out. And but if you're a channel member here on YouTube, sorry. It is just unusable. And the amount of times that we point out, like, this is unusable. But that's good because that all goes towards a special behind the scenes for channel members. If you're a channel member here on the channel, you depending on the tier, you get access to some early videos behind the scenes for Hunting Around. So there should be a lot for the Enablers episode. And if you aren't a channel member, you can consider joining. It helps support the content that's going on here. You can also have the option of gifting a membership to other people in the chat if if you as a different way to support, not just super chats and everything, but also let's give somebody else a chance to be a channel member here. That's an option, but there's that coming out on the channel. So follow.
It really happens. Really happens.
Oh, because you got one?
I know it's frowned upon by Chamba, but it really does happen. You can become a member and win. It's really great. I love it.
Champa's probably still here shaking his head as he
is right now.
He is. Oh, Alex, thank you for the sticker.
You're generous.
It's a pear working out. Is it a pear or I can't see the shape? But it's on YouTube.
Or an eggplant. No.
And don't forget to go get that Boba Squadron merch now that we're back. Hats, shirts.
Yes, thanks, Ernie. If you want some Boba Squadron merch.
Wearing. Yeah.
Oh, Yoko has one too.
Yeah.
I've had it on the last 3 hours.
Paul, I understand you're not wearing yours because you've already packed away all your really good clothes for the move. So
yeah.
I got it. I understand. But yes, it's all available on toyingaround.ca. Thank you for Boba Squadron. Thank you for being here. I had a lot of fun. I miss you guys and doing this. And you're stuck with me for the next little while, 9-ish weeks, I think. And everyone else, thank you for tuning in. Last words?
Thanks for following and subscribing on the platform of your choice. Currently limited to YouTube and Twitch. But thank you. And be sure to hit that thumbs up on your way out.
Nailed it.
Good. It's real good.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I did. I missed it so much I completely forgot. But again, Yoko, you never cease to amaze us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night and keep toying around. Peace.